figure out.
They need to let you craft more or something
Holy!
Make them farmable.
Attack artifact. I just got an attack artifact. Bomb damage 2%. Additional damage by 2% of attack. And skill to accuracy 6%.
What?
Holy! Holy!
What's the fourth stat? Oh, it's a purple.
Give me that.
It's a purple.
Oh, that's still not bad.
Wow. I still want it. It says bomb damage.
That's actually.
Oh, but HP.
Aloha, everybody, from the YouTube channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As you can see, we got a group of people that haven't been on in a little while. We got 6 members today, or I guess you could say 5.5, but 5.5 and counting, I guess you could say, because she's growing. But got Waikas, Baby, Thompson, Ruijin, and Fwa. So welcome back, everybody. Before we get into things today, anything interesting going on? Anything happening? Anything you're excited for?
All right, besides, isn't there like a possible new patch coming out? Probably like.
People are saying that it's a 2 megabyte additional upload, and they're saying that it's like end of Siege rewards. You know that because Siege season is ending this month, they might be preparing for that. That's what people are saying, and like new packs or something as well. I don't know.
It could also be the tournament Siege map too.
Oh, true.
Yeah, because it's the 1v1.
True. What were you gonna say, Thompson?
I was gonna say I don't know if you guys watched my summons for Patrick earlier, but he's like the luckiest person in the world, man.
That's what I like to hear.
Stop saying fucking false shit.
He's missing 2 elemental nat 5s in his account. 3. And he pulled 2 of the 3 missing elemental nat 5s.
Let's go.
And
hey, a little bit of luck. Yeah.
One of them, the whole chat was like, do blessing. I said no. And then he sniped it without blessing.
Damn.
Well,
Okay.
All the art masters. Dude, his account is so blessed.
Okay. So little bit of luck there. Okay.
Only 200,000 crystals summoned in 1 month, but so blessed. Yeah, so blessed.
Oh man, so lucky, man.
Hey,
but
just 200,000 crystals.
A little bit of luck. You know, it's on its way. You know, it's gonna have to take baby steps to help catch you back up to the average. I tell you that. So
now
I take those.
Every elemental nat 5 in the game except for 1.
And
but
it's because of guys like Thompson fucking spreading false bullshit that my account remains cursed.
I say nothing false. Everything I say is true. You can ask him.
Come to us.
You have every single elemental nat 5 in the game.
Come to us, the city in Korea, like, oh shit, he has enough luck. Oh, we can turn it back off again.
Enough luck. And he just pulled LMD nat 5 last month.
Well, what is the last nat 5 you're missing, Pat?
Water demon.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're not missing out much.
I mean, that's coming up in Summoning Stones.
It's in Summoning Stones right now.
Right now? Oh, yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, I don't think you really need it.
Patrick is like, what? I just want to summon right now. I'm telling you.
For the fact of summoning, for the sake of summoning.
All right, let's dive into today's topics a little bit here. We have a couple different things that we're going to be covering and talking about today. First topic that we have, it's going to be kind of a continuation because I feel like this topic is very important and we've been talking about it for about 2 weeks already, but it's revolving around artifacts because I think there is still a lot of testing, there's still a lot of speculation, there's still a lot of things that needs to be, you know, figured out for artifacts, and it will take time for us to figure out what's OP, what's garbage, and whatnot. What I wanted to kind of do today is gain a better understanding of artifacts myself as well, and what you guys understand so far. So we're gonna kind of go through the substats that are possible for these artifacts. I mean, some of them we'll go through briefly because, you know, they're very simple, very straightforward, and some of them are garbage. But some of the other ones that are a little bit more tricky. I'm curious your thoughts on it and your understanding of these artifacts. So, yeah, let's get right into it here. So
can I say something before we start talking about artifacts? Well, it's artifact related. That's why. I know that a lot of artifacts are overwhelming the end game players, right? Could everyone kind of agree with that?
Yeah.
Even end game players are overwhelmed.
Yep.
I'm annoyed at it. I'm actually really like last week. I want to really talk about it. I'm just so annoyed about this whole how it's implemented in general.
Can you imagine how bad it is for someone that just started Summoner's War a week ago?
It's a little bit confusing.
They're not at that but even then, it should be like a progressive level, right? It's like, I don't think they should be worrying about artifacts because I think you can't
say that though, because if you started the game a day ago, right, you're not doing Giant B12 either. You're doing Giant B3, so you're doing Punisher B3. You're doing everything B3. You can't say that. There's the level for each person. Obviously, you're not going to do B10. I can barely do B10 now. You know what I mean?
So the artifacts is overwhelming for everybody, really overwhelming for beginning players. I feel like I was talking to this one brilliant mind called Sarusa. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but he actually has a lot of great ideas, but no one really like give him their 2 cents. So we were talking about like how it'll be cool when you equip the artifact on the monster, the skills that are used are highlighted, and the skills that are not used are like disabled.
That's what I wanted to.
That would be so much. That would be so convenient for everybody.
Or at least when you open the artifact screen, it should have it like labeled out there, like what's changed on your monster.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again. Say it again.
So like example, if you give like if you try to put bomb damage on a Barbara, the bomb damage will be disabled, but everything else will be highlighted that she could use and is using.
Yeah, it's more like a quality of life change where you see what's actually being useful
but
for
the issue.
that.
Okay, so my only issue with that is that it's very niche because there's only going to be a couple that is not going to show up on units. Do you know what I mean? Like there's only going to be a couple.
There's a lot. You got leech life. You got leech life. That's pretty useless on everyone.
But if you have vampire on it, it becomes useful, right?
Yeah, but still niche.
It'll be highlighted when you have vampire. You know. Also like recovery of vampire. You know. I still like that idea, but what do you guys think about it?
Dude, that's awesome because most of the artifacts, like almost half of it is not used. Like half of the stats in the artifacts are not used.
Well, I see what Brian's saying though.
Right, I mean, I'm just looking at it, and I'm not really seeing that many, right? Okay, I'll go through it real quick. Crit damage, recovery, accuracy, damage dealt on, damage received on, increased proportionate to lost HP, increased attack effect, increased speed effect, increased crit rate effect, damage dealt by counterattack can work with revenge, damage dealt by attacking together can work with team-ups, bomb damage is probably the only one, life drain, HP when revived, attack bar when revived, damage dealt by reflect damage, that could be a second one, additional damage, additional received under inability, speed under inability, receive crit damage, and crushing hit. So there's only 2 out of all of those substats that would be not on a lot. What's the third one?
No, correct. There's a lot more than
people that don't heal.
Because let's just say you try to give
but the recovery works on vampire as well, is what I'm saying.
Let's just say you try to give like Abelio recovery on skill 1, then that should be disabled, right? Or you try to give like accuracy and skill 4. I don't know, but there's actually a lot that you cannot use. Right?
Is that true? Is recovery?
Or you could do like bulwark crit damage on skill 2, which is a passive, right?
I guess, but
there's a lot.
We're going to talk about it a little bit, but from what I'm understanding and hearing, life drain and recovery both stack with the vampire. It all works. Yeah, so that means that every unit can use it. So but
if you equip the vampire runes on it, then it'll be highlighted. If you don't have vampire runes, it will be disabled.
I mean, I haven't tested out the vampire runes,
but it's
weird. It's like,
is this going to be something feasible? You know what I mean? Like, is it because it like that's a lot of time and coding that they have to put in, right? Because you have to remember, I don't know how coding works, but they have to do a lot of if and but and if when if and but and with and if for it to highlight, right?
I do think that if they're gonna complicate everything in the game, it doesn't matter if they code it and supply that for the gamers, right?
Okay.
If everyone agrees that it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. It's still like in overall just a better quality of life change. But I get Brian's point is that he doesn't think that it's a priority because it's like it's
maybe
it's like saying like changing a color of the text to make things look better. It's a nice change. I think everyone should get it, but should it be like the number one priority at the moment? Probably not.
It also seems I don't know how difficult it will be as well. I hate it when we suggest things that are not that important, but probably might be difficult for them to do because it's like wasted time and resources into it. You know what I mean? But I like the idea of that thing of being able to highlight criterias, right? We can use that idea for other things as well, or even in just this, right?
I don't mind the difficulty if it's complicating, like artifacts in general is complicating the quality of life for early game players as well as end game players, right? So if they can make it easier, that would be cool.
Okay, or, I like that idea of making it easier. Sure.
Or another, it's like hindsight 2020. Imagine they came out with like elemental artifacts first with 30 extra room, with 30 space, and then they came out with like the attribute artifact like 3 months later with 300 extra space, right?
Yeah. I think right now
wave at a time, but now they just threw everything at you at one time. It's kind of whoa, right?
I mean, is the woe a bad thing? I've been coming to the conclusion that the woe.
I
is
mean,
a
but
good thing,
I was like, whoa! But imagine someone just started playing like a week ago. They're like,
well, I mean, they're not gonna care about artifacts yet because that's something you unlock later, right? Like when you play a game.
No, but they might want to play with it. There's a whole event around it, right?
Yeah.
So they at least want to do the event. If they summon a little bit, they get a few artifacts.
Right.
What I don't like is the shitty interface. It's
yes,
the UI.
I agree with
it's
that.
Like it's
garbage.
Like I know. I think Thompson talked about it. I don't know how much you guys talked about it into it last week, but it's just what pisses me off is that it is complicated, but the fact of the matter is I can't find anything. Like I might have accidentally because I put something on a monster like artifact on one monster thinking it's good for him, and then I rethought about it. It's like, oh yeah, this was good for this one, but where is it? I forgot where I put it, and I can't look for it. So I have to go through like every single monster, and then there's monsters in storage that I have to pull out to look at it because you can't look at it in storage either.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're working on a artifact, artifact management, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure
they have to be. They have to be.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
I mean, the only way we could search for right now is in swap, and it's very basic at the moment.
They low key want us to experience how it used to be looking through runes, so we appreciate them. That's what they wanted us to do. I'm onto them.
Honestly, I totally forgot how to look through runes.
People don't know how it was to like look through runes one by one, dude. It's so stupid, bro. Like, oh my god, dude. I don't even want to think about it, man. Used to be so bad. So I think artifact management definitely got to be a thing. Highlighting of the substats. I mean, I will leave the idea there, but I think I will agree to disagree, right? I don't think there's wrong with having a disagreement on it, but I think making it easier, more understandable.
Destroyed by accident.
The only bad thing about highlighting the things like that is that it's a lot of work because there's a lot of shit that doesn't do anything for a lot of things. Like you're really gonna find one that covers all four bases for one monster. So it's really hard to show and then not show and then show for this one, not show for that one. It's a lot of data, I think, for them to do. But they definitely need that.
Am I just a pepega, or do I actually think that a lot of these work for a lot of units? Like literally, there's 20% or less that do not work for units.
Just two, 3.
Yeah, there's like literally like only a couple of substats, honestly, that may not be activated. Even damage by attacking together, it will always be highlighted because you can team up with anybody, so it will always count and work. The only one I said is the bomb, really, the bomb and maybe a couple others, right?
There's a lot, even like crit damage on like skill 2 for Elucia, right?
Yeah. Then you go into like
the hard to show.
There's damage on skill 3 for Fran.
But even damage when attacking together, it's hard to show.
Or recovery on skill 1.
You're not attacking together until you're attacking together, right?
Yes.
There's a lot more than just 2, Brian, because like you multiply the 2 by 3 because you could get accuracy for skill 1, for example, like for Juno or something, where you get accuracy for skill 2 for Chow, or for like a or like recovery for skill 1 or skill 2. Like those are extremely.
But then Brian said that the vamp runes work with all the recovery, so when
that's what I've been hearing. Okay, let's actually go through some of these. I think we got some general thoughts on artifacts so far, and seems like it's a little complicated. So let's kind of go through these lines, and maybe we can kind of discuss and talk more about our thoughts on artifacts. This is a big topic here. So crit damage for skills 1 through 4. I mean, I think this one's straightforward, right? More crit damage, you deal more damage for those particular skills. I think it's stupid that it has skill 4 involved because there's not many units with skill 4, right? So that becomes a really, really garbage subset. I think you guys probably agree with that. Second one here is recovery. Now, this is the one that some people are iffy with. From my understanding, recovery will work on whatever skill it says, right? For skill 1, skill 2, skill 3 specifically. Recovery will work for skills that heal. Recovery will work for skills that naturally vampire themselves, right? Like a skill 1. And what I'm hearing is that recovery will also work with vampire. It stacks with everything, with all those aspects. But the thing is that it's indicative to whatever skill that it says for recovery. What is your understanding so far of recovery? And what do you think about it?
The only thing I don't know, everything you said, I agree. The only thing I'm not sure about is the vampire, and I think the vampire is the hardest one to actually test because, like, you actually have to stop and look at every single one because you have to see exactly if that's the percentage you're gaining. Because, You look at what them damage you're doing is you need like ×1 speed to actually look at everything down.
Right. I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but I've been hearing multiple people have said, hey, IslandGrown, I have tested it. Different people on different days in the last week have said, I have tested it, IslandGrown, and it does work. So I'm going and believing the community on their testing on it. So we can go off that basis, I guess. Right. I think somebody said Tyler also tested it. Once a Love also tested it. So
with Icarus and
it will heal more.
Gogol, they have static damage. So like if you add it and then you put Vamp on them, it would increase skill 2 for Gogol.
It should. It should.
The healing only, right?
The healing, correct.
Yeah.
So that's recovery there. And because we're talking about recovery, I'm gonna skip to the other one that I have there, which is Life Drain. So my understanding for Life Drain is that Life Drain will work with Vampire Runes, right? And Life Drain will work with any skill that heals you. But it's not going to be working with skills that recover, like let's say Fran S3, right? That's a recovery.
Any vampire room and any like vampire skill, like not healing skill, vampire skill.
But the thing with Life Drain is that it's not indicative to a specific skill, so it will work for all your skills. But the difference between Life Drain and recovery is everything I stated plus recoveries for specific skills, and it rolls from 3 to 6%, while Life Drain only rolls from 1 to 3. So there's some pros and cons to Life Drain and recovery there. They're same, but kind of different at the same time. So I'm wondering though, how does it really work? Is it multiplicative? Is it additive? And what if you have Life Drain and recovery? Like
I think Chris was talking about it yesterday, that it's additive, not multiplicative. So
good.
So like if you have like the 15 recovery on Molly, it becomes 40% every bar.
Really?
Bar. Yeah.
What? That's
kind of
no way.
That's kind of broken.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's too broken.
But I did notice it. Like I haven't really tested it. I don't do RTA off the stream, but I'll test it tonight. I did put a recovery one on Molly, but it's not like I don't have like a crazy like a 15 or a 20, something like that. It's probably like an 8 or a 10, but like I do notice it looks like it's healing more than it used to heal.
The recovery on skill 3 is also only on the attribute one, right? It cannot be on the elemental one.
The type. It's on a type one.
It's on the support type. It's not on the color.
Yeah, it's on type.
Yeah, it's on the support. Yeah.
It's on the type.
That's
not the race.
So you can have it on both sides.
Not the color. Not the color.
Yeah. But you can have Life Drain on both sides. You can have Life Drain on both sides. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I think like even Makeitaba, I know Makeitaba did some testing and whatnot. That's why I'm talking about it, because he might do some testings. He might find some stuff, but it might not, things got to progress on, some things will be wrong, some things will be right. So that's why we kind of discussed it.
I could see that from happening being additive, because like it's only on the attribute one, right? Not on the elemental one.
Right, but it's kind of a lot that you get.
Your whole chat is saying multiplicative.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I don't know what it is. I didn't test it personally, but I was just basing it off what I heard Chris say last night when I was on Discord with him for a little while.
If it's additive, it's kind of ridiculous. It's actually pretty ridiculous. If
it's additive, you have it on both sides. Oh my god!
Like I'm assuming everything. Like I'm literally hearing everything is multiplicative. Like just make an assumption that everything is multiplicative. If it's additive, then so be it. But
except the damage one. The
reason
one
why I would lean towards it being multiplicative is the fact that all the subsets don't seem like that OP. So like, why would they make one like extremely OP like that?
It's got to be multiplicative, right?
If you have like a quad roll and it's like 20, right? Let's say it's
you can get
45%.
20's not even high, right?
No, you can get 30%. You can get 30% recovery.
Well, we also need to determine hard to be healing the team for 20% every time it goes, right?
You also need to understand we need to understand what type of additive, multiplicative, and where it's being put as like here's the one, right? There's the percent damage to speed, the defense attack. It's literally just an additive bonus, flat damage after everything's already calculated. So it's literally just like plus 200 damage, plus 30 damage. The one that you see a lot, the one that says 25% attack or more damage from speed. That one's literally just an additive, but it's not additive inside like another multiplier within the monster's skill. It's literally just after everything's calculated, it's an additive onto of flat damage. So you need to understand we can say if it's let's say the recovery percent, right? If it's a multiplicative after on top of the whole thing, it would be like let's say Perna's healing for 10% of everyone's HP, right? Then another 3% on top of that 10%. That's a pretty big gain. versus
Why not
like
just change the translation? I don't get it.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I
just
don't know
change the
why.
translation.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Do you think that do you think that Come to Us thinks that it's more fun to let us do the discovering ourselves, but or do you think that they should just tell us? Because I think they should just tell us like this information because
that's actually the most frustrating part.
yeah.
Aside from farming these things, is the fact that this stuff was released without a lot of like explanation. You know what I mean? So it's like we're keeping shit based on our assumptions, and like chances are like probably 90% of the shit we've kept is probably trash, and we're just holding on to it like it's fucking treasure, and spending $2 million to power up each one.
Yeah.
And it's probably still garbage because we don't even know what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I remember
that's probably the more frustrating part than anything.
What
about it.
Oh, go ahead, Richard.
Sorry.
Oh no.
I was talking. I remember last before the patch, I was talking about Thompson with like, oh, the percent to like defense into damage is gonna be so OP for like Artemil or something, right? And it's literally not. It's so bad. It's like,
I mean,
the better one is actually the counterattack one.
The counterattack is the best.
It is the best. Is the better one. I thought the defense was gonna be out because I thought it was a multiplicative.
It's so hard to roll that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a multiplicative, like additional onto
I
whatever multiplier that Artemil already has, right, from his defensive attack skills. But it's
like I feel that I think what I have an understanding of what's really going on with CompToUs, because if you realize when they first released the game, I don't think they had all the information about debuffs and whatnot written out, right? And then I noticed later on that it's actually in the help settings. If you guys go to the top left of your island, you click on your name, you know where your hive ID is, and you go to help, it lists down all the debuffs, how much percent for all the debuffs and buffs and whatnot. It's all there. And even now when we like search up monsters, we can do searches and stuff. I think it just takes them a little while to write it out and translate to all the different languages and include it. But I hope that us talking about it kind of pushes them to get it out sooner, because I'd like this information a little bit sooner. Right. But
and that's fair and that's understandable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they shouldn't have released it without having all that done first.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
You're
right.
Plus, like they also released the GB12 and the DB12 at the same time, which is really frustrating for a lot of endgame guys too, because like, what are we supposed to do, right? Because we need to farm. If we don't farm, we're never gonna have mana to power up the runes, artifacts, right? So we're not gaining any mana right now. We're just constantly losing mana. They released too much stuff at one time. I think that they could have very well just released all the B12 dungeons and then waited until they figured out the English for this thing and then put it out, you know?
True.
But right now it's way too confusing. There's no point in releasing it if nobody knows what it is. You know what I mean? Like we got all of us farming it, but we have no idea what the hell we're even farming technically, besides the base stat on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing on the subsets that we have here. The next one for the type artifact is accuracy. How valuable do you think this is? I personally think this is quite a valuable one. Skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, accuracy.
Is it additive or multiplicative?
I believe this one is additive.
Okay.
But the thing is that you can't check it. You can't check it.
Last week you guys said you could check it, but no one checked it.
We talked about it that the only way you can do something to check it is to check if there is accuracy. And the discussion was that I didn't know either, but if you have 0 accuracy and you have 100 res, you will never land it on the unit.
Never land something. That's
right. But if we test it on a unit with this artifact, we can't tell because when it's multiplicative additive, I can't see I can't see, right? I just know it's there.
So it's like, do I need like 10% accuracy to hit 85, or do I need like 5%? There's a huge difference, you know? Like, what the heck?
I mean, if it is additive, then it's actually pretty valuable because you don't need slot 6 accuracy anymore. Well, not anymore, but I think it reduces the need for it. But then you have, I'm pretty sure people will be annoyed the fact that they have pretty like really good accuracy runes on slot 6, and now you might not even need to use it anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the monsters only have like one move that needs accuracy, right? So,
right. I think it's going to be additive. My assumption for accuracy and like crit damage is that those will be additive. Those will be additive, in my opinion. Those will be additive, right? One of the few that are additive. So it is actually very valuable. I feel like
the flat stats are additive, like the accuracy, the increased defense, stuff like that. I feel like all that stuff should be additive because it's not like that much, you know, like it's not ridiculous, you know, because like I said, all the substats to me, like regardless, they seem all kind of lackluster, you know, like the bigger buffs for everything is like the biggest buff for everything still, in my opinion, is the main flat stat on the rune itself, on the artifact itself, you know. the extra 200 defense, the extra 200 attack, the extra 3,000.
To a certain extent, depending on where you are in the game, the substat is really powerful. Like, so the example of accuracy is huge, and one of the biggest examples is if you get accuracy for S2 and you slap that on Sierra, think about it. Why you need to run accuracy on Sierra anymore? The only one you need accuracy is S2. Right, so you just saved yourself an insane amount of rune efficiency that you can. That's decrease what I mean.
Like until it's like clarified. Like right now, the most important thing is the base stat. Honestly, until it's
true. Base stats are big.
Proven,
Base stats are big.
Even get 85 accuracy.
Sierra has the skill 2 accuracy thing too.
I think what do most like endgame players run their Sierras? Aren't they usually around like 60, 70, like hovering? No, or do they actually hit 85 on endgame Sierras?
Thompson hits 85. Mine's like close to 80. And then with the if the artifact is additive, then mine's 85.
Okay,
I'm still retarded, but I miss every bomb anyway because I'm white. So what does it matter?
you just had really good luck summoning. That's all.
I should just put 0 accuracy and just like I can't get mad that way. You know what I'm saying? If I put 0, I just can't get mad. He misses a bomb. Okay, you should miss.
Well, 0 will make you miss a lot. It will make you miss a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm the best summoner in the world. All you gotta do is spend 200,000 crystals. You got the monster of your dreams.
Even you didn't spend 200 crystals, but even if you spend 200,000 crystals, it's so hard to get the only last 2 of the 3 elemental nat 5, right?
Right. Okay. And then when the first day Art Master comes out, Thompson summons 2 of them, but he's not lucky, right? The first day Beast Rider comes out, Thompson summons 2 of them, he's not lucky, right? Go to the Thompson stories, please. Stop it. Thompson gets 3 LD nat 5s and 7 scrolls, but he's not lucky, right?
Hey, why are we comparing? Why are we comparing to people, man? Come on. He said, he said, she said. Whose horse is bigger? Wait a minute.
Because Comtuous actually listens to Thompson, right?
All right, I own it.
Comtuous actually listens to Thompson, so when he spews nonsense, I have to defend it because they think it's real as fucking fact.
A real story, man. You're so lucky.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Let's talk about artifacts.
You're right. What happened? My daughter's getting mad now.
All right, back to the artifacts here. Moving on.
Your daughter gets mad when you're lucky? What the heck?
Fucking Thompson, dude. So type artifacts. So we went over all the skill ones, crit damage, recovery, accuracy, into the attribute ones. Those are indicative to type artifacts. These next 2 are indicative to attribute artifacts. Damage dealt on whatever element and damage received from whatever element. What do you feel about these? How strong do you think these are? You like those? Okay. Tell me why.
Niche, but they're pretty good.
Examples of what you like it on.
I like them from Molly.
Molly's example.
Just
like
overall less damage from everybody, right?
Stupid, because yeah, look at top. Yeah.
I mean, like for not the damage one, you could just stack, right? If you really want to specifically kill. So, well, for me, like this is my idea is the fact that since I'm like I like doing a lot of the PvE ranking stuff. I actually right now the
that's
B12s,
big, true.
The B12s actually the stats are so huge on the bosses, you can't actually like 1-shot or 2-shot them. Right. This actually helps because I know that the elemental damage ones are actually multiplicative after your total damage. So say you have 5% of wind damage, right? So you're doing 10,000 damage. 5% of that is multiplicative of that total. So those are the ones that's multiplicative in that. That's what I know.
Oh, damn,
for sure. And then the other big one is going back to the elemental artifacts is like crit damage one is obviously the best for in terms of offense.
Like a skill 3 or something that you should nuke, right?
Like all these stuff is just the power creeping of offense right now is kind of insane, and the only thing that's really like preventing all this stuff is the minus crit damage one on those.
All those 20-something K-lutions now.
And then the elemental ones, but the elemental ones are so niche because there's so many different monsters you need to protect from. You can't you could stack one, but then you're just like not really like protecting from other ones.
Right.
Like,
we can jump into that in a little bit as well. Flaw, did you have something to say? You wanted to add something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably like the most underrated and talked about one. Just the damage dealt on certain elements, and because that's what you look for your dungeon teams, to maximize. Like if you're doing giants, look for damage on water on all your units. If you're doing the light dungeon or the artifact farming dungeons, you change it to wind or wind or
whatever
light.
corresponding color. Yeah.
Yep. So stacking that like with the crit damage, and you just get yourself like ton of extra damage. That Yeah, that's how you're gonna be able to one-shot the waves. I mean the B12 waves later with your illusions. You have to stack on the damage on water and the crit damage on slot 3 or skill 3.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been saying, hey, the new B12 boss is so tanky, so much, but I think eventually
They're
with
not,
artifacts, we get stats. I mean, we're gonna get those speed teams once again. I mean, they might be hard for everybody, but we're gonna get to them again, actually. So
you guys are talking. Oh,
go ahead. We're talking about damage
guys are talking
dealt
a
and
lot
damage
about,
received from what element?
Yeah, you guys are talking about like a lot about PVE, but for PvP or Guild War, I guess the received is really good too because you could just like counter that. But for PvP, definitely damage dealt by specific color or damage received is really good in like the slot 4 or 5, where like you're bringing it in to counter like the unit you're trying to counter.
Yeah.
Good point.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, like
right.
if you're drafting, right, you have certain picks that are brought in against certain units that you always know, right? Let's say example, you go up against Franz and you're always like, hey, I'm gonna run my Daphnis. So if you happen to have damage increase on light, you pop it on there, right? And you're gonna pop any Fran. So there are certain instances, right? Or you bring Daphnis and you're gonna be up against Triana's a lot, right? So you bring some wind damage in there to kind of boost it as well. So specific elements.
I've been selling all my like damage dealt on water because I thought it's like really useless. But then I was making a Diana, and like last week I was telling you guys I was frantically looking for damage down water. Yeah, so it's Diana's also pretty good too with additional damage based on like HP or defense.
Yeah, and you can do damage reduced from fire. If you happen to pop the damage reduced from fire, I mean, I don't think you mind it on your Diana as well, right? You gonna always get countered.
I think that one's a little bit wasted stats if you want to really maximize. Yeah, if you want to maximize Diana, you want the additional damage based on like HP, the additional damage based on defense, and then the extra damage on
water because you're gonna drop
or minus crit rate or whatever crit damage.
Okay, fair enough.
Another thing I'm like really wasn't sure about. The flat damage that we get like from the HP one, the attack, right? Is it? I don't know if it's actually for each hit or just
which one?
Total.
Which one are you talking about? We're moving to these are common ones, right?
All the flat damage.
Flat.
So everybody's been saying that it's every hit. Like for example, like if your Chow hits for like extra. Like 500, right? But if you put that same artifact onto a child that somehow multi hits, it's 500 every hit of it. So
so that's good on multi hitters.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this one? What does it say? What is the comment? What is it read as? I'm confused. Which one are you guys talking about?
I think the stat that's good on
stat. Damage based on stat, like speed.
Yes.
Attack, defense.
Okay, got
literally the crappy flat damage ones that
damage based on stat.
Damage. Yeah.
Got you. Additional damage by HP, by attack, by defense, by speed. Okay. All right, and this stacks with the multi hits is what people are saying. Okay.
I haven't tested, so
I've also heard is not from your base, it's from your total. I could be wrong.
What?
It's from your So the thing is from your total stats. So let's say you have 10k HP, and you have 1% damage of HP, 1% of 10%. As a flat damage, so that would be like.
I mean, that's actually not that much technically because let's say HP it only maxes out at 1.5%, so it would make sense if it's total. Yeah, that's not that much.
Wow.
If it's a base, then it's extremely little, to be honest.
I don't think it's base. Yeah.
I don't think it's pretty sure it's total. People did it. I remember looking up on Reddit. Someone did a thing for Skogul. It was like the attack one.
I mean, all they have to do to test it is put the artifact on and then have runes and then no runes. That's how they just test it. Yeah. Honestly, it's a pretty simple test. So,
I mean, even then, if it's base or flat, or base or total, it's still like pretty low because it's just a flat damage added onto your total after.
Wait, now that I'm thinking of it, why would you think that it would not work with multi hits? Why would people think it doesn't work multi hits? Because what did you think that it says additional damage? So it's just your total. Like, if let's say you did 5% more damage, it would just be 5% of the one hit.
It would just split. It would just be split. Like if
it would just
be like 500 damage, right? It would just be a 500 damage added on as a total. And if you did a multi hit like 5, it would just divide 500 by 5 hits. It would just be 100 each. Like there's a few skills that did that.
I see. Okay, but now we know what it's with multi hits. So multi hitters can benefit from this pretty greatly. Then this additional. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's why like monsters like Diana and Ethna and stuff like that. Oh, they hit pretty hard when they hit.
Are they all relative though in terms of like percent wise? Like relative, like if a unit has, you know, a base amount of HP, attack, defense, or speed, like are these all even, or is there one that's like, wow, this multiplier is like slightly higher than the other multipliers technically? Like that's what I'm curious on. Like what are the values of each of these, right? Obviously I know it's dependent on what type of unit it's on, but I wonder if there's more value, right? Like you have an HP unit like Molong, the HP additional damage is, let's just pretend Molong hits like crazy hard and the HP additional damage is kind of okay. And you have an attack type for like Leica or something like that, and the attack one is actually just multiplied by like a crazy amount more, you know? Wonder if there's a difference between them. Because we know there's different percentages, right? Right? 0.1 to 0.3% rolls, 2 to 4% rolls, and then 20 to 40% rolls for speed. So I'm curious on that. And which one brings most value.
Somebody's gonna have to do the math on all this.
Yeah.
Because it's different on every unit too, with different base stats too. So
yep. Yeah, that's
how
true.
you build them.
You'd have to figure out what a standard would be to be able to base that. Okay.
Yeah, I think the HP one might actually be the better one. Well, that's just me looking at it.
Yeah.
Because there's HP, like just on its base itself has 2 decimal points over any other stat, right? Like attack is only 700, defense and attack are relatively like the same. And then speed is the one that's like 100 something. Well, this is just me like thinking off the top of my head.
Anybody else feel like really. Since the artifact release, you've done the most thinking you've ever done in Summoners War? Like every time you pop like an artifact, you're like, attack type, substat 1, substat 2,
substat that's good. You keep it right, just in case.
Yeah, and you're like, is this okay? Keep. Okay, so like it takes a moment, right? Like before we just farm runes, right? We're just like, garbage, garbage, this is good. Like it's instinctive, right? This one takes a little bit of thinking.
Once it's the wrong color, you already know it's garbage. Now you have to read.
Yeah, this one it takes a little bit of thinking. I don't know. So
sorry, I'm cleaning up the mess my daughter made in the matter of like 20 minutes.
You're good. All right, let's talk about some other ones here. Okay, these are ones that some people say are garbage. Let's talk a little bit about it and your thoughts. Bomb damage. Kind of garbage except for bombers, obviously.
So good.
Well, except for bombers, right?
All I'm farming for is bomb damage now.
But it's only for Sierra and Gianna. Am I kind of right on that ish? Sierra and Gianna and Dover.
Really good.
And the
Bombers. That's not right.
Dover is really good. Leebly is really good, and the water Leebly.
CN.
Yeah.
Okay. So the bomb damage is a good multiplier though. It's a very very like nice multiplier.
If you get a nice percentage, I mean,
right now,
you like a regular like 12K bomb turns into a 13K bomb. It's a big difference, you know.
It's like a half brand if you get max. Was it 15% half brand, right? Which is kind of nice increase in damage. True. Okay. HP when revived and attack bar when revived. Do you find any viability, or most of the time it seems like a get rid of?
I think it's amazing for the Beelzebub owners.
Dark
Demon.
Oh, and Balau owners, right? Because everybody here has Balau, right? Yeah, Balau owners.
Finally, it would overpush instead of just flat 100, and then all the ones who already have 100 attack bar.
Where'd you get the ugly ass pizza from, bro?
It's fucking. There's already. How's it ugly when it's already?
You live in New York, bro?
Yeah, I just
you're in the wrong part of New York, kid.
Shut up.
That's some burnt ass, ugly looking pizza.
It's delicious.
Right, next podcast, I'm gonna show you a real slice of pizza.
Yeah, please.
I'll order pizza just for the podcast.
Please bring me some too. Send me some.
Although to be fair, I'm mad hungry right now. So
Pat's just mad I'm eating and he's not.
You don't even know. Me and Pat, we talk every morning, and then while we're talking, I'm like, "Hey, can I get a chicken breast with brown rice?" And then you start hearing
every day I talk to this kid. And every time he calls me, he's at a drive-through, right? He's hold on 1 second, and he orders the same thing. Let me get a number 7 with brown rice. Number 7 with brown rice. And then when I ask what number 7 is, it's fucking steamed chicken, bro.
Where you eat? Where you get fast food?
This morning he called me a little earlier, right? You know what he got for breakfast? You know, normal people get like bacon, egg, and cheese. Sorry for the
No, this is fine. I love this.
Anyway, normal people get like bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. This dude ordered fucking chicken, egg, and cheese on a wheat bagel. Like, you might as well just take the cardboard in your driveway, you can Amazon package out of it, and start chewing it out. It's the same fucking thing. You might get some flavor on that Prime sticker too. You know what I'm saying? That's literally the Amazon packaging. He just paid $19 for Amazon packaging.
That cracked me up, man.
Dude, that sounds
on
amazing.
your pepperoni, right? Do you like the tiny ones or do you like the big ones?
Jeez.
Tiny.
I got the tiny curly ones.
Oh, good.
You fucking asshole. No, but yeah, Thompson, like, not for nothing, Thompson eats healthy. And to be fair, I'm sure a lot of you know now, but Thompson's wife has been away at her family's house. And, like, he's been eating, like, super healthier while she hasn't been here because I guess she can't influence his eating patterns. But, dude, this guy, he's disciplined. Like, if nothing else, Thompson's fucking disciplined. Dude. Like, he's fucking nuts.
I care about food.
Like, fuck, dude. Like, I'd kill myself. I swear I'd kill myself. If you made me, like, if you trapped me somewhere and had to eat like Thompson for a week, I'd kill myself.
Get out of here.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, I eat brown rice too, don't get me wrong, right? But fucking steamed chicken, and it literally tastes like cardboard, bro. It's cardboard on top of steamed cardboard.
Oh,
Hey, man.
You gotta enjoy life a little bit, Thompson. Just saying, man. Or do you just prefer that?
No, he does though. Like when I go to California, he takes me out. We eat good together. You know what I'm saying? But I guess when he's by himself, he's like fucking strict.
When you don't need to eat like crazy stuff, you might as well just eat what you eat, right? Okay, I respect that. That's something I'd like to be able to do. But
yeah, I will never order chicken for breakfast on a wheat bagel, bro. There's just no fucking way.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'd like to live with Thompson because somebody that's disciplined like that would just force it upon me to be able to just eat that. You know,
with me and then you eat good.
Fuck, you know, I live with you, man. I'm gonna get some health problems, bro.
If you die like 15 years earlier, bro, as long as you ate good for the first 50 years you were alive.
Trust me, I would definitely live with you, because
he's eating like crab or lobster.
Yeah, legit. If you told me if I eat what I eat, I'm gonna die 10 years earlier, or I could live 10 more years to eat fucking cardboard with fucking tape on it. I'd fucking eat what I eat and live 10 years less, bro.
Yeah, it would be like every time I'm with Wycas, dude. Like it's never a question of like if he asks, "Hey, what do you guys want to eat?" I don't say shit. It don't matter. If Wycas pick it, bro, we go somewhere good, right? Maybe if Thompson pick it though, I'd like to know where we're going first before I make a decision, right? If I'm gonna be going or not, you know what I'm saying? Anyways,
Thompson knows good food though. I'll tell you that he does know good food. He's taken me to a lot of great places, but like I said, since he's been alone, man, he's been eating fucking real healthy.
It's good. All right, back to the artifact discussion here. Let's bring some more of these other artifact subsets up and see what you guys think about it. We got the big one here, which I kind of keep a lot of, but I don't know if it's like that crazy or not. But increase proportionate to lost HP, attack, defense, and speed. Increase proportionate to lost HP. How good? How valuable? What units? Let's talk a little bit about that.
So I heard that it's based off of your base stats. It's not of your total stats.
That one's off your base stats, I think.
I think this one base stats. Yeah.
And it's like the percent, right, of the loss. So if you have like 30%.
Isn't it so annoying, this conversation, that we have to fucking like guess every answer? Like it's like it's like frustrating as fuck. I'm getting angry just listening to it. Like, you know,
I mean,
like,
it's also fun too in a sense because like it's like theory crafting at the same time. But yeah, it does get frustrating because we don't know like the real answer. You know what I mean?
I think it's stupid even for the chat too, because like a lot of times chat will come to podcasts, you know, for like some answers that we actually give that we have facts upon, and we're just like fucking like sound just as clueless as everybody else. You know,
it's okay. I think we learn together. It's fine.
But like you said, that's the good thing. We'll learn together. You know, nobody has an edge right now, I guess you could say.
I actually think that stat is a little bit crappy, right? Because you don't get it. You don't get the full percent until your life is at 0. So I don't know. Like,
yeah, I feel it might be. Go ahead, Paul.
I think that 30% should be changed to 50% if it's like if it's off of your base. I don't know. I mean, no, maybe not 50, but like 40. Maybe
like
I don't know,
members,
40,
right?
40, yeah, maybe 40 or 45. I don't know.
Because it's not that big of a deal if it's off your base, you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's because like if you think about it, it goes up to 30% for attack, defense, and speed, right? So unless you have 0 health, you're not getting 30%. If you have 50% health, you will get 15%. And this is assuming max rolls. So I think this substat is okay, but it's okay only for units that specifically lose health, right? Or specifically have lost health. Let's say Belial, like we talked about Beelzebub. Let's talk about Molong. Let's talk about Daphnis, right? There can be a little bit value of it. I don't think it's the craziest stat, but I think there is a little bit of a value with Leo, right? DJK just said in chat. Leo.
Those really annoying bruisers like Leica, Miho, and Geralt are decent with it. Right. They're on my Miho and Geralt. That's why.
That's why I think a lot of these substats, for the most part, I mean, you can consider them like better than nothing. You know, like attack bar and revive. There's so little attack bar, right? But then like technically, it's still better than nothing. You know, it might that little 2% or 3% might be the the difference of you getting the turn or not. You know, you never know. You know what I mean? So it's still better to have than not to have. So it's like, I look at most of the stuff as like better than nothing. You know, like it's a lot of stuff's just really low. Like it's so low.
Actually, it might be good. The attack, the increased proportion to lost HP is actually really good probably for the torrenters. Think about it. Because if they're running vampire and they're healing, it's like they're always going to heal like a crap ton amount, right? They're they can heal quite a bit, and they can be ruining a little bit tankier. I don't know.
How often do you get a good torrent? Think about that.
I know,
like,
it's one in a million.
Like, oh, it's almost my turn. It's almost my turn. You're dead.
Yeah, every time, dude. You're right.
Or like they hit you to the point where you're just not low enough. You know what I mean? But you can't survive to the next one. Like
you know what I'm always scared of? You get the defense proportional to HP on Leo, and then like that hit doesn't get you below 30. But if you had it, like no, yeah. Because you get tankier as you move HP, right?
What were you gonna say, Regent? Oh, do you have something?
I totally forgot.
Okay, Four, are you gonna add something?
I bet somebody's gonna win the SWC using the attack bar and revive. Like I just feel like somebody's gonna.
You better get one, Thompson.
You think so?
Like somebody's gonna win SWC by doing like a surprise like artifact with reviving with attack bar extra boost, and just like with Vanessa or with like
that small thing will be the difference maker.
Yep, exactly. I just feel like that's gonna happen
most.
Yeah,
you know that we're gonna bring it up, right? Like SWC will be something will be 1 HP or something.
That's gonna make that difference.
Yeah, and then we'll find out that the recovery amount with the life drain was 5%, like just enough to keep it alive. Like we're definitely 100%.
That's gonna happen.
You better find one, Thompson, bro. Four made a prediction, bro.
What? No, I sell those.
Yeah,
man.
you better get that HP when revived, dude. 15% HP when revived, or 15% attack bar when revived. You better get it, bro.
Dude. And some people are using the Wind Druid too, and Vanessa. So if you just think about it, like if you, with that, it could just be the perfect. Like if you have 10% extra attack bar boost and revive.
I think I could name about like 10 better stats to put on Vanessa or Tyrannies over that stat on artifact.
I completely agree with you, unless you triple or quad roll a attack bar when you revive.
So there's also 10 that you want triple quad roll over that, right?
Yep.
That's not giving you any stats.
Yep.
Well, he's not saying. You're misunderstanding him. He's not saying that there aren't 10 stats better. He's saying that somebody that gets one of those runes may win a match because of that.
Okay.
Not that there isn't stuff better. There's always stuff better. Yeah. But like, if you don't get something better, you know, maybe you want fucking the attack bar. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I know what you're saying. You're saying like there's 10 things better, so nobody's even gonna keep one. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
because there's 10 better choices, they won't even use it.
What's gonna happen is that you will get a legend artifact, and one day it will roll like a triple or something like that into that, and you'll probably end up keeping it just to hold it, like a HP when revive. You know, if it drops high rolls and it's like a triple quad, you're gonna hold on to it, right? Like. You hold on to it whether you use it or not. So
if you have a choice between 3% attack bar gain or accuracy 5% on skill 1 for the Tyrannies, which one will you pick?
Of course, I would actually pick the the accuracy, but
oh no, like 10 extra, they're like 10 of them, right?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Okay. But if you don't have the accuracy, and somehow if you have that triple quad attack bar roll. That roll high, like, dude, it's not that bad on the.
Dude, you know how much stats you got to put in there, you know.
That's like saying you get a rune that has fucking 40 resistance on it. You got to keep it.
Yeah.
It rolls 40 resistance. Would you keep it?
Yeah, I keep it.
Right. So there's a chance you might keep it, dude, if it max rolls, dude.
All right, let's see here. Let's move on to the next one.
That's probably right. You know, it ends up someone do use it, and it's like I do think it. Buffs the water demon, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it does buff the water demon.
Yeah.
I don't think people are going to use it. I think it just might be on one of their artifacts on a unit, and then maybe just so it happens that it, you know, affects the match kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're gonna get some artifacts that have it on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to summon water demon, you know, let me summon the summoning stones for you this week, man.
I mean, technically, what else are you gonna use them for? Unless you're waiting for new units and then them getting released. So you're never gonna pop anything in. True.
House has already used like 5,000 summoning stones doing his ritual already.
No.
Okay, Thompson. Okay, yeah. Thompson used 3 scrolls and got me 2 new units.
2 new Nat 5s and a Banana Nan. So what?
With 3 scrolls. Well, 1 LD scroll and 2 mystical scrolls. He got me all 3 of them.
Hey, if it works, man. I'll tell you that. All right, moving into the next substats here. We have the increased attack defense effect by a certain amount, an increased speed effect, and an increased crit rate effect. A lot of people are getting this confused, so we're just going to talk about it so they know already. This will only work on the unit that is getting buffed. This does not work on the unit that is buffing. Okay, that's the biggest confusion that I'm seeing from people saying like, oh, if I get, the attack and defense increase effects and I put it onto my Megan, will that give everybody more attack and defense? I believe it only works on the unit that is getting the buff, right? Is that true?
It works on the actual buff, the actual buff itself on top of the unit's head. Yeah. No matter who it is, whoever gets on top of the head, it calculates off of that.
So this would be actually like the arena offense meta or the Guild War offense meta.
Yes.
So
I like it
because it's more controlled. You're able to boost your damage on certain units, so it's a lot more controlled. Now, another thing that was kind of discussed now, I don't know if it's 100% true, but people said they tested it. These are all multiplicative. So, meaning that they're not additive. So, it says increase crit rate 3 to 6%, right? If you get 6% of crit rate effect increase, it's not going to be 6% plus 30% on crit rate buff, right? Crit rate buff's 30. It's 6% of 30. Or if you want to do it by a nicer number, 5% of 30, meaning that's 1.5% more crit rate. So you would get, 31.5% crit rate. I don't know if they go 0.5 though, but 31.5 crit rate. And the way people tested it was it's supposed to be a 100 crit rate unit and it didn't crit. So that's how they tested it, right? It's supposed to be 100 if it had been additive and it wasn't. So it's multiplicative.
Okay.
Make it a bud. Damn, if only you had time to join in, make it a bud. Oh, he's always busy.
My wife came home. She took the baby.
Oh, no wonder.
She was here for a while, being very angry.
You just finished me. Do you want to pop on for a little bit for the for a little bit of the podcast? You can pop on for a little bit and leave anytime. Let me know, make it a bud. Can I add you in, man? Since we're talking about this, let's do it. Oh, damn, we got him in, baby.
My daughter left, so you got a seat now, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Got him in, baby.
We got 6 man now.
Not gonna be white.
Oh, you're done for the day. All right, you're gonna be here for the rest of the podcast, then, Pog. Very nice. Oh, baby, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That is what I'm talking about.
Long time no see. I just finished my meeting. Hopefully, no one from work is watching this. So,
nah, you'll be fine, dude. You'll be fine.
I need to break, dude. It's been a long ass day. All right, artifacts, dude. I love this topic.
Yeah, we're talking about artifacts, and we're kind of just going like line by line and just kind of going down and discussing them because I know you did some videos and whatnot recently, right, on testings and whatnot, but we're still trying to figure everything out as kind of the conclusion, and we're just talking about each one, the value, and how good it can be on certain units. Right now, we're on the increased attack, defense, speed, crit rate effects. That's the one we're currently on. So if you want to give some thoughts on that.
Can we just do a quick rewind before we do that one?
Sure.
A quick rewind what I said earlier about the recovery, Chris. The recovery on...
I'll break that down. But I want to start by saying, like, I wish Comtras just told us how it's quantified. Because it's like...
exactly. We had that.
How it's quantified doesn't mean you know what's good or bad. Because how do I know what one substat is worth versus another, right? It's kind of like flat attack versus my attack percent. Like, how do I know which one is the attack percent now? Like... I don't. So I got to figure it out some way, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, recovery percent. That's a really tricky one, right? But the way I look at that is like, I'm not going to put S3 recovery on a monster that doesn't have S3 recovery, right? Stupid question, right? But like, I'm only going to put it on a monster that is intended to recover, like a Molly or a Tetra. So the whole point of bringing in a Molly is for the anti-crit thing, the glancing thing, and also the healing. So the weird way you can look at it is like I am healing. Let's say I got a maximal. I'm healing 30% more. That's if you count total healing throughout the game. That's like taking 30% more turns, right? Because I'm just summing up the total amount of healing I'm getting, right? We're ignoring the effect of like burst damage or overhealing or any of that shit. I am getting a 30% more healing. That's the same thing as 30% more speed. If you multiply it all out, that's about what it equates to in terms of efficiency on routes.
Okay.
So the question is like,
by the way, it makes it and actually for you guys that are like thinking long terms into like tournaments and shit, this is, I think, like once you maximize artifacts, it'll actually swing metas a lot because like things like Juno become super good.
Oh,
And
Juno's
things
so good.
So
My
good.
Juno's like pure damage
Juno
is so fucking fast. It's like my bae right now. That's
Chris,
my
like,
Juno, those additional damage ones.
I kind of want to stream my my Juno.
Really? What are you gonna say,
the
Richard?
best artifact coming out of you.
What are you
Chris,
gonna
so
say?
the question is that the recovery one, is it multiplicative or additive?
Multiplicative. So if let's say I heal 30%, then you just take 30% times 1.
There was like a we weren't sure earlier when we were discussing like is it actually I think if it's additive obviously it's insanely OP, like 30% on top of 25% Molly, that's a 55% heal every single turn. I think that's pretty
my
ridiculous.
opponents proc on me all the time, so it may as well be additive. Let's put it that way.
I think the drain one was the one that was more confusing if it's additive or multiplicative, right?
Yeah. So Life Drain has a lower power up amount, right? But it affects all skills. Is the part where it works, but it doesn't work with heals, which is the thing. So is it additive or multiplicative? We assume we're telling everybody to take an assumption that everything's multiplicative, just because that's the safer end, right? Than the additive. But from what you tested, what do you know, Chris?
I haven't tested the Life Drain one. For at least from an RTA player standpoint, it's so niche that I don't care about Life Drain. I don't have a Jaeger until ComTwist blesses my account with a Jaeger. I do not care about Life Drain very much. And
the thing is that it does work with vampire runes, is what I'm hearing. So units like Leica, it'll accentuate your skill 1, and it'll accentuate all your skill 2 now as well. So Leica is kind of meta with everything in RTA. So it is an important thing to know. I guess there's quite a few units that actually benefit from the Life Drain, right? We have a lot of Mihos as well, so people probably want to know it for the Mihos.
Fire Lich too.
Fire Lich,
forget about the Fire Lich.
Right, these are common units that are out there. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I didn't bother looking into it too much because I don't think you're going to see an SWC winner that uses Miho or Leica much. So
I don't think so. I think Miho and Leica is one of the better slot 5s in the game, but you could have it in the back. You won't see it as much, but if they,
I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
it's just not. It's just so specific to specific builds, and even then, specific units. It's like compared to all the other stats.
Making a bus gonna compete in SWC and get beat by Miho.
Dude, everyone gets beat. Like
so funny.
That would be something.
Joe Gunn has 15% crit rate. It crit a Miho like 9 times, and I lost the game. That was it.
I lost the game to Miho because my Tasarian Oblivion got resisted. Very last one.
Oh my god!
Oblivion resisted twice without, and I'm pretty sure that Miho did not have 100 res because I have 43 accuracy on Tasarian. No one really builds 100 res Miho, and that Miho hit.
Yeah, I think everyone's Miho's 100 resist. No offense. Yeah, no, really. Like I know like 4 people that has 100 resist, including me.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Is it really?
Miho 100 resistance, guys.
Whoa! The reason I asked, everyone knows my stats. Everyone knows my runes.
The reason I asked is because I'm curious if somebody did the extremities of maximizing recovery, since recovery is only available on the type artifact. And the Life Drain is available on both type and attribute artifacts. What if it was a unit that's on Vampire, that there's quite a few that run always on Vampire, that has a high level of recovery and a high level of Life Drain? Like Vampire, recovery, Life Drain, and like skill 1 Leica, I think that may be kind of difficult to kill. Because every time it revenges now, it's going to heal and hit for quite a bit. So, it's kind of scary, no?
I would say if the multiplier, if it makes sense and you're able to sap enough, sure. Like it would depend on a lot.
Right, but of course, there's our weaknesses as well, right? It's just susceptible to beat debuffs, susceptible to shield teams with shield runes.
Let me tell you something, Brian.
What?
To Chris, Life Drain doesn't mean much to him because he's a control player. So yeah, he's like a control comp, So yeah.
Well, he's also a person that likes to take turn 1, and usually when you take turn 1, you don't really care about Life Drain because you got to kill him on turn 1. So
he's a turn 1 CC player.
It's fair. Fair analysis. Okay.
But he hates Juno. I'll tell you that.
Dude, Juno. No, I love Juno now. I actually really like him.
Okay, all right. I'll show you. I'll screenshot you mine, and you're gonna be like, oh,
Juno's insane now. It's really good now.
I don't think you need that much damage on Juno prior, because like back then you need a lot of damage, like the crit damage build. I changed mine to less damage, but better artifacts. Yeah.
So what? More of a crit rate build with high attack, then, right?
High speed. Yeah.
Oh, high speed. Okay. Oh,
and then
so
you get damage based on speed in there, and then per hit it gets more attack.
Do you value the speed under an ability on it at all?
Unfortunately, I do have it on mine, but I don't want it on it. But
Really? So it's not really good on it then. I thought it was good because I rolled like a good amount. Like I have like 28% on mine. Oh,
okay.
I see.
28? Damn.
Yeah. Well, with the 2 artifacts, right? It's a 22 and a 6.
Oh.
So 28% under inability. So and if I bring it in, aren't you usually drafting it against teams that are gonna stun it?
28?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I said. I took a double take.
Yeah, so I mean, but you're telling me it sucks, so I'm kind of like, shit, maybe I just rolled like shitty subs. Maybe I don't even want some of Juno.
Another fire monster, Brian.
Wait, what's the other fire monster? That is under inability.
Leica, I don't know, like any other fire monster.
Wait, but that's so niche to be under inability. Juno is a unit that is almost always going to be under inability because you're going to bring it into comps where you're going to be under inability.
Can we think about a fire monster real quick for Brian for 28% in a...
You have to be stunned though. You have to be stunned or
well, there's a lot.
I guess.
Vertihill. Great. GG. That's it. Game.
Oh, Vert's not bad. Mark, that's not bad. True.
Yep.
I think
game.
Okay.
Yep.
I think with the inability stuff, like on math, it looks bad, but if you get a critical mass, like the whole point is if you can bring your speed above the controlling unit, then it's worth it. If you can't, like let's say Hathor's at 270, and your Juno's at 240, and your thing gives you 28 speed and you never move in front, that's a waste of stats. But if you got 31 and now you move in front of that Hathor, then it can't ever control you, and that's worth it.
Like what is the speed of Hathor's usually low Guardian level? Like 270 ish?
310.
Shut up. Wait, so are more people running Swift then than they're running Vile?
Yeah, like Swift Hathor, Swift Chew. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm never going to be outspeeding it with Juno. I mean, no one ever in their right mind is going to be given a set that good onto Juno. So I'm never going to be in front, even with 28% speed.
No, the faster G3 Hathors are like 280-ish on Vile.
Right, so that's more achievable with the 28% under ability to be able to pass that speed with the okay-ish despair set, you know? Like 260.
What the question is, with the speed under inability, right? It's based off of your base speed, not total speed.
I believe it is base speed.
We believe it's base speed.
What I thought from what I've read. I haven't actually... It's really hard to test speed.
Yeah.
Because the way you test speed is you got to like get hit by that thing and then go like watch the ticks back and forth, and then once you're not under inability anymore, then you go back to your normal speed. I don't want to be the guy that has to actually test and count 100 turns back and forth. That's no fun.
Yeah, but what he said is right.
Speed. Oh, sorry. I would assume to test speed, you put like one unit at 120 whatever, like 120 speed, and the one you want to test either before or after it, and then you attack it and see how much speed it gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like you use the Hathor to drain its attack bar to 0, so now you're both at 0. And if it got it off the total, it should pass you, versus if it got just the base, it shouldn't. You know, that kind of threshold.
I don't like that, because what if, like, during testing, it resists like 1 or 2 times? Then you're going to have to do it over and over and over.
Yeah, you're just going over and over. You're still
if it's on the total speed, that'd be so stupid. 28% of your total speed? Like, holy. We got Narsha here. Narsha seems even more garbage nowadays than...
Wow.
80 speed and stuff like that. That's crazy.
It got nerfed even harder by Brian.
No, it would only be like another 10 to 15 more.
What? Like my 28%? My 28% is right now going to be about 20 something for Juno. But now,
well,
if it's total, then
I'm thinking of like average, right? I'm thinking of like if it's like 10-15% like under inability.
Oh, okay.
And then if it's total versus base, right?
Well, it's double.
Total,
it's double, if not double and a half, because most of the times your Juno going to be like 150.
Yeah. I think it's base though. I think it's base. So unless someone shows otherwise, I think it's base.
I think it's base, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
So
I did it on base.
The damage.
Wait,
sorry,
hold on. Go ahead.
I was just gonna talk about like the best Juno builds. If like, because for me, I would think the best Juno build in this current time is like having those artifacts, like what Thompson's talking about, damage, actual damage based off of attack, speed, and defense, and just stack all those into your artifacts, and then you build your Juno on Vampire as fast as you could possibly make her, and as tanky as you could make her, with high crit, like 85% crit, 80% crit, like 280, 300 speed on Vampire, and
That's pretty dirty, dude.
stack defense, stack HP, and just artifacts with damage based on speed, HP, and defense.
And then you can
Like,
solo DB12 with just a Juno. Oh my
I
god,
don't
that's
like
true.
Vampire build because it doesn't stun because we all know how tilting stunning a turn is, and the Vampire build is great, but then she already heals, so you don't need the Vampire build.
No, for
You're not
DB12 though, if you want to solo DB12, it can heal. We talked about it yesterday on my
No,
stream.
we're talking about PvP, not
Oh
PvP.
shit, my bad. Sorry.
It's not that bad in some situations too in PvP, because like.
Are you talking about PvE or PvP for?
He's talking about PvP.
Both,
He's talking about PvP, but he's mostly talking about PvP.
Yeah,
Why would we bring Juno into PvP? Oh,
Yeah,
crap.
I was very confused. Like, how
yeah.
about Juno in
What?
PvE?
What the fuck?
Juno PvE.
I guess you could solo
No, but-
dragons with.
But you're
Juno.
right. The best way to build the Juno is like really fast crit rate with those good artifacts and cycle
Yep.
turns.
High
But you
DP,
need
high
stun.
HP,
You do need stun. Don't put on Vampire, guys. Just saying.
Yeah, the stun is what
Feels
makes it
already.
easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Despair's the better build, but like it's certain situations, I think that the Vampire might actually be better in some situations. Like if
So
they're
what
high
I'm hearing-
damage, or I
What
don't
I'm
know.
hearing
Why
is
don't you
more.
just pick Fire Monkey in those situations? Oh, sorry. All right, never mind. Just go. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you. My bad.
Just rune 2 Junos.
Okay, Devilmon 2 Junos as well, right? Because a Devilmon Pandemic is not already tough enough.
Why not?
Fire Monkey.
Why the fuck are we talking about Juno?
It's okay.
No,
It's okay.
Vampire Juno, but it's like, dude, that's so stupid.
You know what's funny is Fall's so used to this. Like
What?
over the course of the last like 6 years, Fall's like, everybody says my ideas are stupid. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see.
I gotta put my foot on this one. Like, this is not.
Watch like this entire week, everyone's building a solo Juno for Dragons 12.
Yep, new
Well, okay,
dungeon.
fine.
Yeah, could never do Dragon's 12. Now I do it in 10 minutes. Thank you, Fall.
Right.
All right, let's continue on here with some more substats. We're talking about the increased attack, defense, speed, and crit rate. Just before you hopped on, making your thoughts on that. Our ideas are that it's multiplicative and it's just good for like guild wars and people want to accentuate their offensive teams against AI defenses mostly.
I agree with that. It's only mainly good for guild wars, but the speed one is not bad for vigors because your uptime is 2 out of 3 turns. So you have a very big uptime on that. So it's actually quite a bit of speed.
To put on vigor or to put on units that are gonna be going with your vigor, like mollies and stuff like that. Then.
Well, on ADs or guild war Ds, for sure you can pair it on the units, like synergize them together. But in RTA, I don't really know what I'm drafting with my vigor because it really depends on what my opponent's got.
All right.
So I would put it just on the vigor in that case, and then the more turns you take, you just kind of buff your team more and more. But yeah, I think it's actually not bad. The math shows that it's not a bad stat either.
For Vigor, I think the damage based on HP is better, or even damage based on speed, because it's pretty good. He's usually pretty fast. And the recovery I like more than the speed on skill 2. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'd probably appreciate higher recovery number, like a bigger heal.
Yeah, I think there's value for that because it heals everybody, right? So one stat on that unit affects everybody. So that's a big
exactly
stat.
what Brian said, because it heals everybody. But
Yeah,
For some reason, like if you notice in your matches, like Vigor's heal is always like just good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really shitty heal, but like it's very hard to deal with. But if you increase that heal more, it makes it harder to deal with. You know what I mean? So I think there's value in the heal being bigger too.
Yeah, and because of what your Vigor provides, which is the anti-crit, right? I mean, it's reducing your damage technically overall and increasing the amount of heals. I mean, like Make It About said, it's more turns, right? You're effectively more alive and you're able to have more turns in the actual match.
Regardless, I think both artifacts should have like damage based on HP. So his third skill just go blah 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 blah.
That's a lot of damage. That's a lot. I mean, and you can have both. You can have speed increasing in both.
Yeah.
And then like it's gonna depend on what you roll. Like these artifacts are hard to roll, right? So if you can get both maxed out, then you have a choice to make. Otherwise,
Oh, and then accuracy skill 3.
Oh yeah. Now we were talking about if it's multiplicative or additive, but I think that's one of the few that are additive. So we're hoping it's additive. If not, it just is like garbage, absolute garbage, right? If it's multiplicative.
Is crit damage additive or multiplicative?
We believe it's additive.
It's additive. It's additive.
Oh,
It's additive on top of your crit damage already. So if it's like 4% crit damage, it's added onto it.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you had a 190 crit damage, it comes out at 194. Like that's what it's calculated at.
I think it is too, because it's not that crazy of a stat,
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue on. We also have damage dealt by counterattack and damage dealt by attacking together. Thoughts on those two?
I like it.
Okay. On what?
Because he's a dirty article user.
Oh my! I forgot.
I mean, the one with attacking together, which is obvious. Like if you're using twins, you're gonna use that because it's a multiplicator on the total damage, so it's really good. And then with Rauk too, Tark, all the other ones that just pull teams.
So with Artemil, would you prefer the counterattack percentage, or would you prefer crit damage for skill 1?
Oh. What's
the counterattack, because
counterattack total damage,
is based, the way the percentages break down is it's based on your total, right? Like that's how if I'm increasing my damage, it's based off of my total post runes, and then you multiply on top, right?
If you don't crit, it still counts.
True. So the damage is more consistent because crit damage only when you crit. True.
So then that's 30% crit damage, and so you prefer the 50% counterattack over the 30% crit damage?
15% by a lot, because if you think about the crit damage, it's about 4 point some max rolls on a rune, right? Because a rune is 7% per crit damage. It's 4.2. If you take the total damage, that's a hell lot more than 4 max runes on defense, or what the hell you want. It's a lot more. You would actually
overall, if you look at any of the skills, right, that increases total damage, like let's say Brandy at 50% when it's not like, well, besides the fact that it's 50% because it's a huge number, all those multiplicative skills that are after the total damage is just so valuable compared to like just the value of crit damage in general, because the crit damage is already calculated within the formula of the damage already, right? And then you add on to another, well, sort of semi-big multiplicative on top of that big total, which is just valuable.
Like bomb damage.
Yeah, like bomb damage.
Yeah. Most I got is 6%, dude.
My bomb damage roll is really good, just not on attack ones.
Well, I have a 14%. I have a 14%.
It's actually worth it to not put on attack ones. Your units could be a little bit tanky, but the bomb damage is better.
Yeah, I have a 14% bomb damage. I got it yesterday.
Get out of here! What the
No. I'm fucking with you, dude.
Oh my god! All I'm looking for is bomb damage right now.
Thompson's trolling, right? He probably has 16 of those.
You know what's gonna happen?
28%.
No. You know what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna get 15% bomb damage for defense type artifact.
I'll take it.
Wait, what? You can put it on JoJo. Who you gonna put it on? We will slap it on.
I don't know, but it's just, I'll take it. I'll take it. Right now,
you take it. This is the man that takes anything, dude. What the hell?
I'm desperate, man.
What the?
I haven't rolled a really good artifact yet. It's all just like crap rolls on everything. It's like,
I have a 21 S3 recovery from Molly.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice. Okay, all right. Flex it here.
He
all right.
doesn't really matter.
Thompson likes to do that.
The other problem too is like not so much the mana cost, right? More so the time it takes to power up these things is way too long, dude.
Yeah.
And the mana,
like powering up one artifact. I forgot the mana part, just the time too, right? Yeah. So powering up one artifact is like you're taking the time of like doing like 10 more artifact runs. You know what I mean? Like at least 10 more dungeon runs.
I think
one artifact. Like that's fucked up.
I think we should talk about this. We should Comtour should just increase the rate of upgrading the artifact so it becomes cheaper for.
I think it should just be a flat rate. You should just pay 1 million or 2 million one shot. It's plus 15.
They're not going to.
Don't waste no time.
But you could either make the artifacts cheaper or just make the upgrades faster by a few %, and then this way, like it'll be cheaper to.
Or don't make us have to watch the upgrade fucking bar. Just fucking go.
Hey,
yes or no. Yes or no.
You're not gonna do that with artifacts.
All right, well, I'll change. I made topic number 2 a little bit different. That's something that a lot of people have been talking about, so I want to bring it up. Topic number 2 here is artifact costs, right? Let's talk a little bit about artifact costs and whatnot. My first impression and my first opinion on it was that I don't necessarily agree with everybody like wanting to make it cheaper. I understand the feel of it, but like it's a part of the game to play and to farm, and I don't think it should be too easy. Now, I'm saying this because I have 100 mil mana, which is probably gonna burn once I start powering up more artifacts, right? I was also telling people that I was also telling people that, you know, you don't, as an early or mid game player, you're gonna have some difficulties, but I mean, those are difficulties that I think are part of the game to progress and enjoy the game, right? If things were too easy, it wouldn't be fun. Secondly, I don't think that early game players, you need to plus 15 your artifact right away. The amount of stat gain that you're going to get is not going to make or break you completing a dungeon. It's a nice bonus, the same as early game players should not, you know, power up their 1/3/5s to plus 15 early on because it takes a lot of mana. What are your thoughts?
I suddenly have an idea to solve the problem. You can either wait and power up the cheap way, or just get charged like 5 million to one-shot it. Fair? $5? $25?
This man about to buy mana, dude.
Because my time is very valuable.
Come on.
Right? So if you power up the long way, it might cost you 1 million, but you got to waste half an hour, right? Or if you want to man up and pay 5 million, it wastes half a second.
Nobody's paying 5 million.
Then everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Listen, I'm trying to make everybody happy. Okay, it's not about me. This is not about me. This is about the general public.
It's a whale problems.
I'm not on board with Brian's idea with this.
Okay,
because
good.
I want
all right, disagree.
Cheap because I use my mana so much. I'm hovering at like
enough. This kid, bro.
No, it's not farming much. I use it for siege. I spend like every siege. It's like, well, besides the siege.
Oh, because you rerun for siege like a nerd. Oh my god.
Just because you don't siege and put effort into it. Yeah, of course I'm that guy.
You like me. You know what I do?
Yeah, you're useless.
I don't
you're fucking useless. You're fucking useless.
How easy it is.
You're just a guy that just plops there and does
don't do siege. All problems solved. Rerooting. I don't reroot when I need to reroot. I'm a root for siege. You're nuts.
Okay, let me.
I like winning. I don't like losing to stupid AI. So I put my effort into actually like, I have to beat this.
So let me say this, Region. So you use your mana to rerun your units because you're doing it in Siege, right? You're moving your sets so you can use your combos, right? Now, I think the cost that it takes you to do that is implemented there to kind of deter and make people not want to do that as much. So because you're doing that and it's deterring you, you're using that argument for you need more mana for artifacts. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to deter people.
But then see, like,
which brings up another good point, right?
Before this artifact thing happened,
because if he farmed enough, he'd have enough runes for his other units.
I did farm enough. I would have like 200 million mana if I don't use it. It's the fact that it's like I have mana, you should use it. You have money, you should use it. It's kind of the same principle. It's like, what's the point of hoarding money if you're not going to do shit with it? It's like,
which brings my point. You should be able to pay to expedite the power.
I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay mana for that. I'm just saying. I had mana.
Both of them bring up valid points, and then both of them have like the stupidest like conclusions as well. It's so funny, dude.
Patrick, I don't even get your. You know why I laugh so hard? Because Patrick, I don't even get your one-shot theory. Let's just say you have a legendary artifact, right? And you're like, you want to see how it is.
You don't care, bro. If it saves time, I don't care if it powers up. I'll sell it afterwards.
You don't even care. It's just like plus 15. Oh, the bad artifact sell.
Okay, would you rather waste half an hour?
This man, the man that spent 100,000 in Clash of Clans, guarantee. Yeah, my walls better be level 50. I ain't waiting for the walls to be powered up. My gold mine should be level 100. I ain't waiting for my gold mine for 5 days.
Don't you want to see how the rune powers up, like level 3, level 6, level 9, level 12?
Yes, I actually do like watching it, but not for that long.
I do if it doesn't take half an hour. If it takes half an hour and I can expedite it, I would expedite it.
It's not taking half an hour.
I don't care about 3, 6
as long as, let me tell you something. In this game, as long as there's packs available, you can farm. That's all you got to remember. As long as there's packs for sale, crystals are unlimited, right? Why do you put a limit on it?
You want less packs. Well, I want less packs.
Because I don't know. When I open my crystals, I never run out of crystals.
No.
Right?
I mean, hold on. Small correction. It doesn't have to be a pack. You can spend $100 for 3,000 red crystals straight up. You can just keep going.
Wait, tell me not. You have bought those before, right? Have you never not bought those before?
Of course I bought
Like back in the day, like I bought that before.
course.
There weren't
And a
enough
lot
packs
of
back
them.
in the day. There were not
Yes,
enough packs
back
back in the
then,
day.
there's only the red crystal on the left side, right?
So
you buy
bad.
all 10 of those, they're limited. Then you have no more crystals, right? So how could you play a game with no crystals? So you go to the shop and you buy crystals. It's as simple as that. I don't see the question. If there is a pack, there is always going to be crystals, and when there's always crystals, you can farm, so you can spend on whatever you want.
Dude, you made me post not on my cracker, man. Fuck you, man.
like Pat's on the other end of the spectrum where it's like, if it's money, I fucking spend on that shit.
Yes,
mana.
I will.
And then me, I'm like, I fought for my mana. I'm not paying crystals to get more mana because I'm
but
cheap.
you wasted your money on buying ugly pizza. That's why, bro.
No, it's fucking delicious pizza. Just because you're stupid.
But more importantly, right?
You're so jealous of my pizza, you go back to it. Look. Thompson's eating a cracker. How come you don't talk about his ugly cracker? I mean, it looks delicious. I didn't say it was ugly. He thinks it's probably ugly.
What kind of cracker is that?
What kind of cracker?
Cracker.
Shit.
It's a steamed chicken cracker.
I do think that the fact that it costs more mana is fine though. Like it's a harder part of the game. It's a new part. Like, but actually I have stated this too on my stream. It's like just power the damn thing up. I'll pay right now up front. I'll pay you a premium.
Like the mana sucks. I get it. It is expensive. I agree it's expensive.
No, how are you guys? No one will want a one shot because you want to see how it upgrades level 3, 6, 9, and 12.
Do you want to see some one shot rune power ups? Honestly.
Okay, wait. Let's hear. Wait. Let's hear everybody out. Let's hear everybody out and have everybody a chance to kind of get their thoughts. Go ahead, and make it a bud, and then we
You
can.
don't have to force it on me. Give me the option. Like, if I don't got time, if my wife wants me to go to bed and I got to power these things up now, I want to do it now, right? I don't want to have to worry about taking my time, right? And I
give me a choice, right? I like that.
I'll pay a few extra dollars not to have an angry wife, right? Or I want to do other things. I don't want to sit there for 2 hours and power this thing up. Take a few extra million mana, get it off my hands, give me the option. Right.
Like, okay. Stop playing Summer's War for like 5 minutes.
So here's my thing. I like the idea of the choice.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead, Ruchin. Let's go one time. We can't. Nobody can hear anything actually if you guys are talking over each other. Go ahead, Ruchin.
I like Chris's idea of the choice. Choice is great, but make the slow mana upgrade part a lot cheaper for me.
I'm fine. I don't care. It's free for you, bro. Just let me get one shot. It could be free for you. I don't care. Give me one shot.
Yeah, give it to me for free. I like free.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have.
Although real quick, IslandGrown, J-Bro said in chat is a good idea to solve my problem and Thompson's problem is like let you one shot it up to the certain levels. Like you can one shot it fine.
I don't have an issue.
No, you had an issue. You don't want a one shot. That's an issue.
No, it just doesn't make sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
I mean, they do have the feature of plussing to 12 and then going to do something else, right? And then coming back.
Right. When you're laying in bed and you're about to go to sleep and you're powering up something and you instead of dropping the phone in your face because you fell asleep, you could just like, I have 5 new runes. Bang, 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 bang. I failed.
Okay.
Good night.
You know what I'm gonna see. What I'm gonna say right here. I think this is what's gonna happen. Comtuous did say that they're not confirmed, but they're looking into doing consecutive auto runs. And with the consecutive auto runs, they want to make something indicative to Summoner's War, and they had thoughts of being able to allow you to do rune management and do things on runes. So I think that is probably what they're going to push as the solution, not a 1+ being able to power up. To be able to farm and do the runes at the same time is probably what they're going to put, to be honest. That's going to kind of fix them. What the fuck? Every time, man. Why you always vacuuming on Tuesday, bro? Man, got that. Can you vacuum like on a Wednesday or something? The fuck?
Hey, he's got a portable one, so that's fine. At least it's cordless.
But what do you guys think about that? I think that does, in a way, kind of ease the problem.
That makes it a little better, of course, because like I said, how this conversation even started was what I said was the time it takes to power up one artifact, you could have did like 10, 15, 20 more dungeon runs already. You know?
Right.
So it's a big waste of time. Like I said, mana, it is expensive. I agree. Like people say it's expensive. I think it's expensive too. However, the time is worse than the money, right? Than the mana, right? Because like in those 20 runs of farming you could be doing, you'll make up the mana you spent powering the root. However, you're losing mana, you're not gaining mana, and you're losing time. So it's like really bad right now the way it is.
Yeah, and there's so much other shit you gotta do too, like fucking D-hole energy.
Like Siege, who does that shit? Anyway.
Seriously, dude.
I think some people are saying to do like just Giants or Dragons B10. It's still better for getting mana.
Yeah, you have to go back. You know what I mean? It's a give and take. You have to go back and forth. But I think my biggest advice for early mid game players is just go to 12. Like chillax. You know what I mean? You lose a little bit of flats, but it's not like it's not a slot 2, 4, 6, right? So I mean, plus 12, and I don't know what the math is to plus 12, but I don't think it's that expensive. I don't know. Do you know the expensive? The most expensive is the 12 to 15, right? I'm pretty sure.
12 to 15. 12
like
to 15
that. That's it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous how long it takes.
It's like that for artifacts too.
Dude, it's so bad. Like the last upgrade's what, 19K? I've probably burned 120, 130 million mana just getting like 50 of these artifacts up and running.
You know what's more frustrating than that, Chris? Half the shit you powered up is probably useless because it's not even working the way you think it's going to work.
And the time spent doing it.
Yes.
Dude, I've been powering up for like...
We're powering up artifacts like based on our assumptions of what they do, you know? They might end up not doing shit, and then half the shit you powered up is fucking completely useless. You're going to kill yourself.
I think the reason why Comptos made the mana cost higher was I think that their statistics, from what I've seen, and I don't know what statistics they've seen, but they've seen a statistics of players with large abundance of mana.
Yeah.
So,
that's exactly
right,
what I said on my stream. I said, I think streamers are showing too much mana.
No, they don't have to see. No. They have the math. They have all the statistics.
Billions of mana.
Yeah, they have all the statistics on every player.
Right,
they could just click one button and have it.
Right, but they wouldn't look at it. They wouldn't look at it, Brian, if every streamer didn't have it. You know, like everybody sees the streamers have it, then it makes them look at the statistics. I think it has to do with it too. There's no reason why they made it cost, 5,000 more than Rune's cost.
Right, and then they're looking at it and they're like, okay, these players have like 500 million, 1 billion mana, right? And or even 100 million mana. And these players already have powered up the runes, so there is an abundance of mana somewhere. Right, so
unless you're Ryujin, you have unlimited mana. Yeah, so like
Right.
Yeah, so give the ability to transfer mana to other people. Ooh, I like that.
Donations.
I would love that. That's a secondary market for mana. I'll take that. I'll do it.
Yeah, so then people can start farming mana and selling it just like gold for World of Warcraft. I like the idea.
No,
let's go, baby.
You just trade it. You can just trade it. Just give it. I'm not paying for that.
Oh, just trade it. That's what just give
it to me.
My friend.
I'm not paying for someone else's mana. I'm gonna get my own mana.
How much mana for the Artemel?
What?
Nothing. Hell no.
I realize Ryujin is a very one-sided.
He has a few.
Oh my god. All right, so general consensus, what are your thoughts? I mean, it's okay to like disagree, but I disagree with the general population, at least for right now, that the artifact cost is a big problem. I think it's
to be fair though, Brian, like to newer players though, like 20,000 mana is a lot of cash, bro. Because like we have an abundance of mana, right? Because we farm, let's say 10 runes come out, chances are we sell all 10 of them, right?
Okay.
And that's 200,000 mana, right?
True.
Roughly 200,000 mana.
True.
They see 10 runes, they have to keep all 10, power up all 10. So they're still on a decline the whole time. Like their mana is just going one direction, Like ours mana goes up no matter what. The only reason why our mana is going down now is because artifacts is like what runes are to newer players. Like artifacts to us is brand new, so we roll every single one. We keep every purple, we keep every orange, Like
it's fair.
If we see a flat slot 6 HP, we sell it. Legend, But if we see a legend, it could be retarded substats artifact, we still keep it right now.
The only thing is I just want to make sure that it doesn't get too easy, right? There is a balance between too easy and too hard. So I addressed that there is a problem, but for what I've seen so far is that I want things to simmer out a little bit longer. One thing I have told people in the community is that the feeling of playing the game, you know what I mean? I'll tell you right now, the feeling of playing the game and the enjoyment of the game and getting a rune and getting something amazing, we don't feel it anymore. As a free-to-play player, as an early game player, you get an experience that is something that we chase. Everybody here in this podcast, a lot of people in the chat, we chase that we don't feel, right? When you get something and you're able to power it up, and when you're able to achieve a dungeon, when you get a 21 speed rune for even an energy rune, you get that feeling that I can never get again. So I don't want it to be so easy for them because that's the fun. That's what gets you and drawn into the game.
I get that feeling for 17 speed, bro.
You don't get no feeling for shit anymore, bro. You don't get no. You are numb. You are numb, dude. You are numb.
My cousin account is cursed, man. That's all I gotta say.
If the math comes out that, you know, mid-game, early-game players are going to have a huge struggle on mana, you know what I mean? Then yes, there needs to be a change. And of course, as we've seen come to us in the past, they do the math, they do the research, and they adjust things. They've adjusted prices of runes, prices of rune craftings. They have made it easier for us. So I without a doubt say that I believe in the future there will be some sort of adjustment or some sort of ease. So that will come. But just how much of it, right? And how soon is the bigger question. I just don't like to jump to conclusions and, you know, make everything easy. Oh, too hard, easy. Make too hard, easy. Make too hard, easy. Right?
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. But time, bro, the time thing, they got to fix that because I'm telling you, it takes too much time to power up stuff, bro.
Fair.
You're losing, like let's say you're married, right? Let's say you have kids, you're married. Your Summoner's War time window is like, let's say, you know, you get the 4 hours before your wife comes home from work and you get 1 hour after she's home from work, after she sleeps before you do, right? Like, do you want to waste 80% of that time powering up runes, or would you like to be farming? You know, like, granted, you know, like, I'm not saying that's my life. I'm just saying, like, normal people, right? You have to spend time with your wives. You want your time to be maximized, and like powering up runes is not maximizing your time. You know, that's all I feel.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
I hope they implement. I mean, I'm still on the fence. I say I hope, but I'm still on the fence. If they do implement a consecutive auto farming, I would like that feature that they said that they discussed of being able to do runes at the same time. That will be big. That will be a big addition to the game for sure. If they decide to do a consecutive auto farming feature, which I think if they release this end of the year,
it has to be limited and super limited on how many times per press.
Yeah.
Because that kind of stuff makes people quit games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like once you're not interactive with the game, you're not interactive with the chat, you're not interactive with any part of the game. You're just like, oh, why am I even playing this? I could just fucking lay here and watch TV and not press start now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you lose interest for the game. You'll lose a lot of players. They will lose a lot of players if they extend consecutive auto farming.
I mean, we'll change topic number 3 to auto farm. That's it's kind of flowing nicely
before
here.
We change topics. I just want to say, like, I used to. You're like team. You don't have to make artifacts upgrade more expensive, right? So like before, I kind of agree with Brian that they shouldn't have to change the price for upgrading artifacts, because I felt like in a way where we just need to farm artifacts for like 6 months and we'll have like enough artifacts for all our RTA units. But now it seems like my opinions have changed, because I feel like I'll be farming artifacts for like the next 3 years. Yeah, it's gonna be like a forever type of thing. Like for the next 2 years, I'll be upgrading artifacts.
But what's also true is that your standards for artifacts will go up, meaning you will sell more artifacts, and they do sell for mana, right? Compared to like Giants dungeons and other runes, they sell for 20k. It's a nice
but
amount.
then you also will be upgrading and stuff like that. Yeah,
well, I mean, but the same thing can be said about runes, right? Runes are the same thing, but because your standards are so high, you sell them a lot now. So after 6 months, you will
less to upgrade. Artifacts cost more to upgrade. That's
right,
why
but
I'm advocating.
Go ahead and make it a bud.
And I will say too, if you look at like the nature of the artifact, I actually think the cost may be an issue, just because like with runes, like if it rolls, like the stats are much more generic. So you roll them a lot. It's a lot easier to just roll and fit anywhere. With these, they're very specific to monsters. So if I'm chasing bomb damage, I'm gonna roll it, and I have to roll a lot more of these, because it's gonna be a lot harder to get your upgrades. So at the end of the day, I think you're gonna sell a lot less. So you're gonna have to test roll a lot more than like with runes. I can sell after one upgrade.
In the runes, you're kind of just chasing for speed a lot of the time.
You gotta remember though, like runes, you look at it like that, but runes, you understand, you don't value you don't keep so many runes because you've also been farming runes for 6 years now. You know what I mean? Like, these artifacts are fucking like 6 days old. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna take more than 6 months before you have a solid enough base of artifacts where you can just like sell quick. But like the side note to what Chris said, even after you farmed artifacts for a year and a half, right? You still might be chasing that one quad bomb damage roll, that one quad recovery roll. You know what I mean? And you have to roll every rune that says support skill 3 recovery, and the other 3 are shit. You still have to roll it for that recovery.
And getting to that point,
not as effectively.
And getting to that point where you're like where we are now after 5 years, it's going to take much longer to get to that point where you're selling that many, because of how varied the stats are. Right, it's going to take a lot. Like the best will probably be rocking in a couple of half a year or a year is maybe at 9% bomb damage, right? So you're going to have to keep rolling any purple with the bomb damage for like 3 years or 2 years.
I mean, but you have to keep in mind that when you're rolling these artifacts, you're rolling them to +6, +9, and you're gonna sell. So the cost of rolling it there is not that expensive unless you're keeping it. That's where the cost of the artifact comes in, right?
When you sell them.
It's just going to take a long time to get to that point.
Right, but the cost or the mana that's depleting is when you're +15. It's not when you're +3, 6, or 9. Sure. So the rolling of the runes is not going to be the biggest issue there, technically.
When we do hit that critical mass where we're like, if the incremental upgrade is so small, then of course you're going to be pocketing mana. But like to get to that point where you're able to break even, I think that point is very far off.
It's going to be a lot worse than current runes too, because how many stats are there? There's 40 different stats.
Well, it's not only that, Ryujin, there's that, right? And then there's also the fact that runes right now, right? You have reaps, right? You have targets for reaps, things like that. These, like, you have no reap. Like, you have to roll every one and try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, reaps, you already know it's already going to sit there, you know, until you can reap it.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to, like, have artifact packs and all that stuff. I'm just saying, like,
wait for that
right
shit,
now, it's like,
I tell you that much.
Like, what? You get an artifact and it rolls 40 different, each is different, but, like, there's total, like, 40, right? So it's like 35 for each different ones. It's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, I think the main reason
something specifically, and then or like get a decent triple. Then within those ranges like are crazy too. From like 1%.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can roll like 1%. You know what I mean? It's like you lost the roll when you roll a 1%. It's like, what the fuck did I just do? You know, like
right. But like I'm just counter arguing. All right, I understand both sides. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out myself, but I think like the reason why there's a big mana stick right now too is because as a player that's end game or even a player that's mid game, it's because everybody's naked. Nobody has artifacts. So you are trying to slap it on and you are trying to +15 to maximize the use. But once you put those on, when you're farming them and looking for upgrades, you're just +60 and 9ing. So once you have these artifacts
you're right about that. You're going to 6 and you're seeing
9. I'm hearing a lot of things from Brian. What?
Yeah, you're trying to +15 because you're RTing, right? And you want every bit of defense, attack. So you're going to spend 300 mil +15ing all your main roster, right? And then
the
later
other issue
on,
is you're also sitting in the artifact dungeons and not in Giants and Dragons where you normally gain your mana from, or your BJ5. Like BJ5 is a big mana gain too. Yeah. Yes. You know what I mean? Because BJ5 is every 30 seconds you're gaining mana. Right. Like now you're talking about you're not gaining at all, but you're constantly losing. You've cut off your gain. You're just strictly losing mana at this point. Right. All of us in this podcast right now are strictly losing.
I don't BJ5 right now, but I have to farm artifacts.
So the question is just how long does it get to that break-even point? And I think that's very far off. And maybe I'm wrong. But it's to your point, Brian. We will get to that point where we're pocketing mana on average, right? For the artifacts we get. I think that to get to that point though is going to take a while because let's say we first
like at least 2 years, right? Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be at least a year, like at least a year before you're really comfortable selling them, like easily.
I think they could just easily increase the succession of upgrading the artifacts, and that will tangibly lower the cost of mana.
There's a couple things they can do. They can make it easier to power up. They can make it cheaper, and they could even give more. They could give more mana when you sell them, and they could also do events, right? Just more mana events. Like they just increase what
I think the best thing said so far, like the most important thing that would alleviate the mana problem and the time problem is if you could farm while the runes power up. Like if you don't have to physically block your screen while you power up, you know, or my way where you one-shot it, but that's aside the point. But you have to not waste your time on the rune power screen. Like you could be gaining mana, you know, like you're literally losing. Like you could do like 20 Giants runs in the time it takes to max one artifact, you know, and 20 Giants runs is already a lot of mana. You're already talking about 400,000 mana.
I mean, not the current B12s though, but that's I want to go back to like one of the things that Brian said, like what you said about like chasing the thing, like doing the B12s is actually pretty fun for me because like thinking of new monsters, trying to get as much efficiency out of it as possible. Because right now we're not being efficient at all. We're trying to think of like doing B10s on B12, which is completely like not possible. Oh, at 100% efficiency too.
Right.
So everyone's doing like a 1 minute, 50-second run when they should be like thinking like, oh, I should 30 seconds. You know?
Yeah.
You got to get more artifacts. You got to get more better stats. Just do it.
Speaking of that topic, anybody have perfect teams yet? Like never wipe, but not like don't give me a 5-minute team. I'm talking about like a round
what
1 minute or less team that never wipe.
Are you talking about B12s?
Don't tell me you wipe once every 150 runs. I don't want to hear it. I want to talk about never wipe. Like since the day you made that team, you haven't wiped a single time, and it's less than a minute. Anybody have a team like that?
You want a Necro 40 to 50-second team?
about Necro, man. I'm talking about the new shit.
Oh, the new shit. Yeah, the
Oh,
PC 10.
You know how you get runes out of Necro?
About the artifacts.
Yeah,
How you get Necro?
if you're talking about
Have 100% necro 40 to 50 second run.
yeah, if you want to do the
like
go ahead.
triple or it's like quad boomerangs, right? Not quad, twins.
Quad twins and a Bastet.
What?
Yeah, with your rune
I
quality.
use quad twins and Fran right now.
Yeah,
It's pretty fast.
with
We have a genius in our guild. He used quad twins and Lucian, and he does like 30 to 40 seconds.
yeah, but that's with high rune quality, of course. I think with your rune quality, Waikas, if you're doing the new dungeons, you can find under 1 minute.
That genius is silent.
There's a
A 4-minute whites I get.
okay, go ahead, Paul. You were gonna talk about the artifacts and how it wasn't bad or something like that, or what were you gonna say?
I think Wycliffe is talking about the Steel Fortress, the wind one, right? Like not the because the light one is easy. I mean, in every other dungeon you could get 100%, but it's the buff block dungeon that you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Because the buff block is hard to be 100% because no matter how well you make your team, and even if you put the extra will on the units and stuff like that, there's always that chance you don't land the beneficial block. You understand? Like if you can run 3 beneficial blockers. If all 3 of them miss when they actually try to apply it, you're still gonna wipe. So I don't think there's any way you can not wipe in that one.
You could do like a minute and 20 seconds with like a 100% team with Vela, but it's not under 1 minute. What we're talking about is under 1 minute.
Consistent. There's not yet under a minute consistent. I think that they're going to release new 2A units with block beneficial because there's not enough feasible ones. So I think they're going to release those soon, and that will probably hopefully alleviate or some kind of new units. But if your rune quality holds and you're putting in the PvE dungeons, for you Waikas, you should be able to make under a 1 minute one. And it should still be able to sustain because you're tanky enough to survive.
Not 100%.
No, because if you rune your team with block beneficial like users in there, if they miss, you have the runes to be tanky enough to survive to wait for the next rotation again. Whereas a lot of other players, they have that difficulty. So you should be able to.
Well, the question was more so for like partially for me, but a lot for the chat itself, because this is what people are wondering now, because they're actually not that easy, these 2 dungeons. It takes a lot of thinking, a lot of work, and some decent runes to actually successfully have a high win rate. Let's not say perfect, let's say high win rate. So
no, I think Steel Fortress is garbage. Super easy. Either A, you're running the speed team that DJK is running, a 6-speed team or a 6-speed tick team, or the 7-speed tick team that I'm running that's a little bit slower, that's pretty fast, 100%, or you're running the other team that's like all free-to-play units that kills 2 towers. If you kill both towers and boss, minute 30. I've had players with like some of the crappiest rune quality, 100%.
Towers?
They take 1 hit to kill. Like you literally,
towers actually die really easy.
Yeah, 1 hit they're dead. Like, so if you're a free to play player,
the device one time it was doing towers, and I was like, shit, this tower is mad soft.
Yeah, it's the easiest way is to go towers, and then boss, 100%. So Steel Fortress is, Punisher Crypt is easy, but Steel Fortress is the
because at the 6 speed ticks you lap the boss, or why do you?
Yeah, so with the 6 speed tick you'll be able to go before the boss, and the boss kind of like messes up you a little bit, right? So if you can go before the boss, it's good.
Does it go twice before the boss for a 6 speed tick? And which speed lead does he use?
Use Verd, and you use Kali as well.
Before you go further, right?
Helps.
So when you go, the speed tick there, when you attack the boss, typically you hit him once, he slaps you back, then your whole team goes, right? Do you get to go any extra besides that?
No. If for my team, if my Kali buffs because he gives speed buff, everybody else goes. And then after that, I already have defense break on him, so I don't care that he goes anymore.
That's only if Kali buffs though, because if you hit him, it pushes his bar, right?
Wait, we're talking about Steel Fortress, right?
No, we're talking about Punisher. He
said,
okay,
never mind. All right.
No, he doesn't go. As if you hit him and you reduce attack bar or absorb, he will go.
Oh.
But if you don't reduce, then he won't go. If you're faster than him, you will go. Right? You hitting him doesn't make him go.
Okay.
Yeah, only when you absorb.
Steel Fortress.
No, Punisher.
Yeah, talking about Punisher.
So with that extra speed tick, you get the whole rotation before he attacks you.
Yeah, but you have to have fast enough runes. So that's the part that's not as free to play friendly. But I will say the team I'm using is decently fast, and it's only failed 1 time in like over 2,000 runs. That's low ball.
Not 100%.
So yeah, it's not 100. But I will say this for my team, it's a slower one because it's a 7 tick, and for my team, no fight runes, and my team No artifacts yet on any of them.
So what's the team combo? What's the team combo with the 6-speed thing?
Yeah, check out my video, bro. Like I need the views, bro. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
No, it's the Bird, Pang, and Jolton with
Rayoke and Kali.
Kali and Rauk?
Yeah. And DGKJK was one of the first to start doing it, but he runs the 6-speed tick one because you have the rune quality. So you should be able to run the 6-speed tick one because you should have the speeds.
Which you were you talking about?
Huh?
Did you choose speed and me in the same sentence?
Shut up. Shut up. You can use swift runes for some of the units, okay? Don't have them use.
That does not exist. When you think of speed, you don't think of Y cuz. You think of Y cuz, you don't think of speed, bro.
Whatever.
Never should that thought be at the same time in your mind.
Yeah, it's one of the better teams right now. Or you can do the dot teams.
I guess.
You can do the dot teams with the homunculus and stuff. Those have been working. So like I said, Punisher Grip, easy. It's a walk in the park, honestly. It's a walk in the park. Okay.
So there's a question that I have with the artifacts.
Sure.
So when you do conversions, because what I've seen is that I could roll double sometimes or singles, but has anybody ever rolled a triple when they do conversions on their artifacts?
I thought conversions are 1.5 rolls, up to 1.5 of the normal roll.
So conversions are quality, rare, purple, legend. It can go up to legend for your conversion. That's
He's talking about the one where you spend the crystal. I think that's 1.5.
Yep. Okay.
Which is good.
Wait, what do you mean 1.5? It's 1.5 because the roll can go whatever. It can go a random stat, right? But it goes a random stat from lowest to highest roll, which is rare to legend. That's what I just said.
No, it's not 1.5.
Right?
No, I think it's what Island said because I've re-upped something.
So
I've gemmed something in that's 9%.
Yeah, I think that's the max roll of that 1/6. Then, if you got a 9, that's what I had seen. If you're gonna get a 9, that thing normally a max roll for it is 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why these are up to 1.5 of a max roll.
I'm not sure.
Is 1.5 just a legend though? Is 1.5 just a legend?
Well, I don't know what a legend is. I just know it's 1.5. It could be.
Okay,
but those conversion stones are they're so bad because they're just so varied, right? If I get a defense 1 for bomb damage, I give no shits about this conversion stone. I'm just gonna spend crystals on a random conversion.
Yeah.
So it's weird, right? Because it's all random conversions, right? And the ones that aren't random, you get to craft, but it's so little.
Yeah, what's the point?
Limited to so little. Like I haven't crafted a single good one yet. Like all the ones I crafted are turds. You know what I mean? And this is the 3rd week I've crafted them now, and they've all been turd. So I don't mind trading in 4-stars. I have space anyway. But the point is like they have to give you more. Like why is it limited when it's so important? I guess, right?
I just think they don't want the endgame players.
You know, hard is to random roll something you want. Like, think about how high the percentage you get. Like, just to get like the lowest percentage of something you want is like 1 in like a 30 chance, bro. It's like a 1 in 30.
Yeah, it's 30.
It's fucking sick, dude. That's
and
nuts.
After like a couple of these upgrades, goes to like 100 in one pop, and then 120 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it would be different. It would be different if they actually like focused the things properly. Like for example, like if there's no bombers, right, of that type, there should never be an artifact that has bomb damage. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there should never be a HP type artifact that has bomb damage on it.
Agreed.
That's the only way like this re-app stuff, like this gem stuff, would be a little bit more effective. Because like. Imagine you like I said, you do a nice HP fucking artifact, right? And all of a sudden you gem in, you get bomb damage. Like, oh yeah, thanks, like fucking fantastic, you know? Like, it's not even a little bit usable, and then the pool's too wide. Like a 1 in 30 chance to roll something you want is fucking ridiculous, dude.
Hey, no one has a problem with bomb damage. Everyone has a problem with crit damage skill 4. Okay.
That one's bad.
No, you say that, right? But the early game rocking a samurai loves that shit now. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying that because you don't use a skill 4.
No, I'm talking about like support crit damage skill 4. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. It shouldn't be in there. You know?
Bomb. I want that.
What's that?
See,
HP based bomb.
Okay, relax.
Well, why not?
See, I actually think all those stuff that you guys are talking about, like they're not bad. I mean, we think they're bad, but I think psychologically, like we're all like a masochist in a way. So like having like skill 4 crit damage, like it triggers chemical reactions in your brain that like sometimes is almost healthy in a way. Like if you didn't have that, you might.
I don't need that. All I do is QRTA and it triggers everything in my brain. One game.
I know what Faw's saying. Faw's saying like getting flat defense. You know, it has to be there. So like you gamble for not to get.
And also
has to be good or can be good, right?
Like the shittier things, like RNG that you get, like the more you just appreciate the nice stuff you get later. You know, like the high.
I'm still waiting for later.
I agree with Fwa.
Yeah, I agree with Fwa too. I'm still waiting for the later. I bought every re-app waiting for the later. The later is not coming.
I'm not even deny that.
Yo, I have a re-app ritual that got me like a 29 speed.
Oh yeah.
If you want me to?
I have a ritual too, bro. Just never hope for anything more than 16, and you'll be a happy person.
All right, never mind then.
Thompson, I got a quad speed. I got a quad 30 roll.
Okay, cool. Did you do a riptual? Because I did a ritual.
Damage.
Oh, nice.
Nice though.
No, it was pretty good. It's slot 6 attack.
It's not bad.
My first quad crit damage to at least.
Right. Anything else on conversion stones here? So for the most part, people are you're just looking for that one stat you want to convert out, and just hopefully it hits good within. What is your threshold of, hey, I better stop because it's eating too many conversion stones, or is it until I get something decent because this artifact is so good? Like, what's your threshold?
I think when you farm, I think everyone agrees with me on this, but when you farm artifacts enough, you get a lot of conversion stones because there's like so much, and you can only use so much. So like you just keep rolling until you get something good. You know, you should have enough.
I stop at like 100. I've had runes at just like 20 in a row, never gave me anything. 15. I stop at 100 because I have everything's garbage right now, right? We're kind of just putting half-ass things on the monsters. I'm not going to really go down hard on a rune unless it's perfect, and I haven't even gotten close to perfect.
How many times have you rolled like do 5 conversion? It's like the same thing, but it's like
I've had
fluctuating back and forth. And like, can I get something different?
No, have you ever done the exact same thing? I've done that. Happened to me.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I feel like that happens a lot. I mean, obviously, it's like
does that seem
no way, Chris?
Does that same percentage?
Not back to back to back.
Same thing.
Same number, same stat.
Wow, I got back to back before, but not back to back.
The very first time I was doing conversions, right? When I got the back to back one, I'm like, is this
back-to-back
all I'm getting? And it's just giving me different values, or I'm going to get other stuff. And I'm like, and eventually, like, it finally gave me something else. I'm like, oh,
I got the back to back to back, but it was all different values. It wasn't the same value.
Like
same value. Yeah,
it's crazy.
That could happen.
It happens.
Yeah, you could get
meanwhile, it's a 1 in 30 chance, right? But
you know what? So
wait,
you're saying you're getting stat X. You have stat X, and you're getting stat Y. So you're choosing stat X, and you keep getting stat Y. You choose your original that you have, and you keep getting that same one as Y, right? Is that what you keep saying?
Oh yeah.
So what you should do, because you know you're not going to want X, is just choose Y, and then after that, it has to roll a different one instead of Y. Now you won't be able.
No, it's going to roll different. It's going to roll the same again. It's going to roll back to the original one.
I mean, but that's what you're saying didn't happen. So if you want, you want to just, change it up a bit.
The guys that say when you re-app, always pick the one on the right.
That's what I do. If you don't keep the re-app, take whatever garbage one they give you because you're not keeping that rune anyways, right? So just change it. Right? I feel like it changes the system and how it, bro science. But anyways, that's my thoughts. All right, anything else on the conversion stones here that you guys wanted to bring up? Still gotta kind of figure out.
They need to let you craft more or something
Holy!
Make them farmable.
Attack artifact. I just got an attack artifact. Bomb damage 2%. Additional damage by 2% of attack. And skill to accuracy 6%.
What?
Holy! Holy!
What's the fourth stat? Oh, it's a purple.
Give me that.
It's a purple.
That's still not
wow. That's for one. It says bomb damage.
That's actually.
Oh, but HP.
Yeah, flat HP. But it's all 3 works for the Sierra.
You hyped it up too much, Brian.
It was a legend.
You hyped it up way too much.
Let me power it up. Okay, let me power it up first then.
What?
Yeah. I thought it was like, oh my god, I thought it was LD.
No, that's like perfect stats, is it not? That's literally what you want, dude. Yeah, upgrade it. We'll look.
It's
false hype. We all know it's gonna go bomb damage +1. Bomb damage +1. You're gonna have 4%.
Oh shit! I don't have enough mana. Sorry. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, imagine.
Fucking bomb damage for 2. Oh, not bad. Not bad. But I'll tell you what it is at the end.
What a troll.
All right, let's go on a little bit here. I know we covered a lot of topics. We had some other topics we were going to cover, but I think we might just move that for a different podcast because it's a little bit in depth for like Siege and stuff, which we can kind of discuss maybe next week. Let's move on to topic number 4, which is kind of like buffs and nerfs. Do you think anything so far from what you've seen needs a buff, needs a nerf because it's too strong with artifacts, too weak with artifacts? Like, what is
not a good one for nerfs?
Yeah.
Regarding artifacts, yes or no? Gianna needs a nerf. Ragdoll needs a mini nerf, and I would argue that Yunhong still needs a nerf, regardless of artifacts or not.
I agree.
And I would actually argue that things like Artemil are a lot weaker now. Artemils are pretty weak.
Agree. Yes.
I would, yeah.
Oh, revert Gianna back to the previous patch, which was
Artemil is definitely
double resistance.
Yeah, the double resistance on Gianna is perfect. That's good.
I don't think it's perfect, but all right, you think it's perfect. Okay, all right.
A lot of non-biased opinions.
Right now, I would feel bad if I had a Gianna and that happened to me, like that mini, like I think it was a mistake, but it was like a mini stealth nerf that they did to Gianna. It was pretty rough. I think it's rough.
I think it's still good though. Like if they do it, it's still overpowered for tournaments because you still have to address it in the draft. So even if it has a chance to miss, it doesn't matter. You're still favored to win when it comes out. It's still good. It's still good. And then Yunhong is busted as usual. So those are the ones that, regardless, artifact or not, still broken.
I want you to log on my account and tell me how busted Yunhong is. If you win, I want to make it hard. If you win 70% of the games in 30 wings, I'm in C3 level right now, okay? If you win 70% of the wings using Yunhong every game, you could delete Yunhong off my account. How about that?
Holy shit. I might take you up on that.
Serious. Wait, are you sure you want to do that? Because that is like that's pretty easy. You can
I know what's possible. I know what's impossible.
No, but you're C3. Your account is not C3, dude. Wait a minute.
I can C1, bro. Anybody that has a gold star is faster than me. So what does it matter?
I can make a 70% on that account with the Yunhong happen starting at that level. I can make that happen.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. Pretty doable. With your RNG, I saw the other night hard, but on average RNG, very doable.
All right, when you guys do it, let me know.
If I had average RNG, I'd be a fucking god, bro. I'd be fucking Jesus with average RNG.
Make a video on this.
RNG,
bro. Bud,
hey,
please make a video on this, Bud.
Yeah, 30 wing video. I'll watch that. I'll literally watch that.
I would too.
I would literally watch that. Please.
All right, we'll see.
But don't delete the Yunhong though. Don't delete the Yunhong.
Yunhong is good. Yunhong is good. Yunhong is good. I do agree. Yunhong was busted.
On the video is supposed to be deleted.
Right. I agree. Yunhong was busted. I don't think after the nerf she's busted anymore. I think she's very good, but not busted for sure.
I would trade the Yunhong for crystals before I deleted it. Just saying.
Oh, true. Oh, true.
But more importantly, Yunhong was very good before the nerf. Like she was way busted. After the nerf, I don't think Yunhong's busted at all. I think she's good. I think she's better than good. I think she's very good. I don't think she's busted. Like she's nowhere in the conversation of Gianna, Ragdoll. You know what I'm saying? She's still one of the top 3. I say she's probably 3rd in top 3. I agree with that because of her kit. However, what she actually does, if you actually look at all the end game users that have Yunhong, they still pick the other white and black things a lot more than they pick Yunhong.
They're white and black things.
Well, I'll tell you why they pick the other white and black things. Is because the other white and black things, it has to do with how speed comes out in the draft. And so they set that speed because they're building around that speed in the draft.
Think about it for a second, right? Yunhong has such an insane base speed, right? That what are people so inclined to pick nowadays? Things with crazy base speed. Yunhong is such a crazy base speed, yet they rather pick the 100 speed Gianna. They rather pick the 90 some odd speed units instead of the 116 base speed Yunhong. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why Yunhong is not picked like the other ones are picked. The other ones are just more impactful. I'm not saying Yunhong's not good. Yunhong is a great unit. You know what I'm saying? But the other ones are so much more impactful in so many other ways. Like, if you have Yunhong and somebody picks Artemil, you almost get, you know how hard it is to beat an Artemil using Yunhong?
Well, the the Yun Hong is what ties your whole team together. And with the artifacts, I actually don't think Yun Hong's any weaker because things do a lot more damage. Shit hurts now, man. Yun Hong just like boosts a thing and just
with
like
artifacts, it helps Yun Hong. I would say if you get like skill 2 crit damage, skill 2 accuracy, like stuff like that, does make Yun Hong a lot better. I'll agree with that. I also think that with artifacts, the fact that everything gets stronger kind of equally with artifacts, no matter how you look at it. Like, granted, yes, some work better for certain units, but everything gains. Like, everybody's like, oh, wow, imagine, my Molly with 3,000 more HP. Yeah, right. But imagine hitting your Molly with 200 more attack. It's the same thing.
Well, you're saying it's a zero-sum game, but think about it this way, though. Like, I actually think, and this is my experience off of, like, having played a few wings in the past couple of days, shit hits harder. Your damage mitigation nowadays is not that the artifacts brought you does not offset the increase in damage that has come out.
That's what I mentioned before. Like,
is a lot burstier. So it's not the Yun Hong's damage; it's whatever the Yun Hong's carrying.
Yes,
so
artifacts buffed offense much more than anything else.
Power creep is just
as far as damage.
Tankiness. What do you get? Like minus win damage, right?
I will say. No, I'll keep this in my bag.
So now it comes to the conclusion after all this being said that Daring is now going to be a top tier RTA pick now to mitigate damage in the high damage meta. Kappa.
Shut up.
Hey bro, 20% damage reduction across all your units, baby. That's some nut shit right there, bro. Let's be real, bro. That's kind of nuts, no? That kind of nuts. Or a side pick, pocket pick, baby. Okay, the artifact rolled garbage, by the way, but yeah. It's okay. I'll use it. Okay, I'll tell you. 4% bomb damage, 6% additional damage by attack, 10% accuracy skill 2, and the last one, it randomly rolled attack proportionate to lost HP up to 5%. So it all is relative.
Still good on Sierra.
I want to ask you this though. The stat of additional damage by 6% of attack, this does not affect the bomb, correct? It's everything else except the bomb. Or does it affect the bomb?
It has to affect the bomb because bomb's based off of it. Bomb damage is based off of your attack.
No, it says additional damage by 6% of your attack. It's not bomb damage. It's a different subset. Additional damage by 6%.
No, it doesn't affect your bomb.
It doesn't affect bomb, right?
Damage. It's just really small. Like if you take your attack and then get that percentage,
because a bomb is still your damage.
But will it affect your bomb though?
Oh,
that's the question.
Bomb is actually a separate category. Bomb is actually not, unless Sierra blows it up. That's her damage. Bombs blowing up by themselves are counted as
something
separate
else.
Entities.
Oh. Yes, but I guess it still helps with S1 and S3.
You notice like Garrow dies for 2 bombs or like 3 bombs consecutive, but if they're like 1 bomb's a 1 turn and 1 bomb's a 2 turn, Garrow still lives through those. It has to be like one after another. They're like separate things.
Right. I mean, the artifact still works cohesively for Sierra, so I'll use it until I get some kind of better one. So happy about it.
So I just want to make this clear, right? So what you're saying is that like the actual damage onto water, like 10% for Sierra. If you put a bomb on a water unit with Sierra, it's not gonna affect it at all.
No.
Right? That's okay.
Just the same way as it doesn't affect the dot.
Unless you blow it up. Unless you blow it up. When you blow up the bomb with Sierra, that bomb damage is considered Sierra's damage. But bombs by itself, it's a separate type of damage that uses the stats of whatever the monster is using, and then it blows up. Because I forgot there was I remember I read something. There was an interaction something.
So this worked just as good as actual bomb damage.
If you detonate though, but in RTA you don't detonate that often. You don't detonate that often.
You rarely detonate. Yeah, you detonate only to save your life. You know?
Yeah, but it will make your third skill hit harder, and it will make your bomb detonate hit harder if you have detonated the bomb with the Sierra. That's correct. What
increasing damage to a type though is very limiting in the way you have to play though, especially as a Sierra user. So I still like the bomb damage because it's generic among all this stuff out there.
Right.
You know, and you're not constrained by having to blow it up with skill 3. But of course, if you got a max roll of 1 and like 2 bomb damage, you'll pick the other.
Hey, I'm just gonna pretend my 4% bomb damage was 1, and it triple rolled it to bomb damage for 1, baby. That's the 4%, baby. Nuts.
Oh, baby.
That's still a bad roll.
It's a bad roll. Still pretty garbage.
That's like saying like you rolled a triple on a speed and you only got 18 speed.
Come on, man. I try to feel the feel of I got something good, okay? Shut up, man. I got something good today, all right? I got something. I got something today. I got something. Feels good, man. All right, moving on here. I'm just gonna go on to open discussion. Whatever you guys want to bring up. We got a little bit of time left here to discuss whatever you guys want to continue discussing about the game. But as you can see, there's a lot of things that we still need to figure out, test, and for people to use. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. This is honestly, I mean, a meme, but I'm having the most fun since I've played Summoners World a really long time, to be honest. Recently with this update, I'm having the most fun. Frustration as well, though, but fun. I'm having a lot of fun, definitely.
Fun in thinking, but not fun in being frustrated and like overwhelmed with all this like stupid stuff that you have to deal with.
Yeah,
it's a lot of words to read on these things, man.
Yeah, tickles your brain.
Just trying to figure it out. Like you know how many of the speed percent to damage that I've kept thinking it's like, oh my god, it's so good, and then realizing it's just garbage.
Most important thing is we gotta wait and they have to release like detailed explanation of everything.
Yeah,
and then
I don't think they're gonna release that though. I think
not yet, but I think over time they will. Just like the debuffs and all that stuff, they wrote it all down. But to write it out in every language and translate in every language and actually figure out the right wording, that takes a long time, man.
I think the whole rune, since they came out with artifacts, the whole rune managing, it's all messed up. Like I touch a rune and I go back, it says new.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can we address that?
Color and everything's all messed up. And the space 300, how is that ever enough? You know,
I just had to delete some artifacts just now because I hit max space.
Same.
Yep. Too much, too little.
I've been asked to ask you something about a Reddit post. Do you know anything about that, Flaw? Is it a meme or is that something or?
Oh, that's just that discussion that I was that I typed out in here. But wait, is that what they're talking about?
I
think that's
just
what he's talking about. We'll just talk about that like a different podcast.
Okay.
Because that's a long discussion.
Okay. Yeah, because we have some plans to talk about Guild Siege and stuff like that. It's gonna be a long one though, but some Guild Siege stuff as well. So we can plan that for next week. And next week will actually be a better time as well. Season 1's kind of coming to an end as well, so that'll be
I guess nice. It will be in that one.
Huh? Yeah.
Patch don't gotta be in that one, bro.
Oh yeah.
Come on, you gotta work with this. Not with these. You gotta work with this.
What's that? Oh no, why? Because you're gonna be on the following week's one where we discuss about money and packs. I'm just fucking with you, dude. You're welcome at everyone, dude. You're welcome at everyone.
Anytime.
So a little bit of discussion on the difficulty of the game since we kind of brushed up on it. A lot of people are chalking it up to, hey, all these people that are talking, all these streamers, all these players are saying everything is so easy because they are so end game with, really good runes, and that's the excuse that they're giving us. But I genuinely think that if people take the time, the content isn't very difficult. It's just that people don't want to. I hate to say it. People don't want to use their brains. I just want to be real. Like people just don't want to use their brains, right? And like we discussed earlier, everybody wants a 30-second team, which is obviously not feasible right now, currently in the B12s. But nobody wants to use their brains. Nobody I feel like those players that I ask, or tell me that, hey, I'm having difficulties with the dungeons. This is so stupid. The game is so stupid. Yeah, the only reason you're doing it good is because you have great runes. If I ask those players, hey, can you tell me the mechanic of the mid-boss stage in Predators? Can you tell me the mechanic of Dragons? What do the towers do? They don't know the answer. So I feel like it's like not having the knowledge of the game is a big thing. And I feel like, of course, Predators was a big like dilemma or issue because when it came out, it was very difficult. But I found that I memed that was easy and it was hard. But then after figuring out all the different strategies and things that people tried out and learned, it actually is very easy for the general population. So what are your thoughts on this? Right, what's your 2 cents on this whole difficulty stuff?
I definitely agree people are lazy.
Go ahead. We'll start with Rujin and then Waikos. Go ahead, Rujin.
There are 20 to 30-second teams. You just gotta manual it.
Okay, all right, true. Okay. You're not wrong.
There's people like wait. So when I started this game, like very early on, like I actually had a lot of fun manualing like B7, B8 because I had garbage, nothing, right? Because right now you could actually do B12s and all these Punishers and Steel Fortress like at a really good time. Just have to play instead of autoing. That's actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Granted, if you like manualing dungeons, but at that point it's like
okay. But what about players having frustrations even being able to auto the dungeon?
That's a frustration of just like you have to learn, right? Like when I started, like I didn't read up on what Punisher did when the patch came out. I just did it. And then I'm like, it does this. You know, I didn't actually read. It's just like, oh, why is it moving so much? I'm like, okay, never mind. Oh, dots kill it. I'm just gonna throw some more dots at it. And then you fine tune.
His lies. This guy did research for weeks once he heard about that shit coming out. You think he would not do research? You think he wouldn't do research? Listen,
I mean, I put a lot of time into thinking.
He's just my boy, bro. Okay, I hung out with him in real life. He lives not far from me, but this kid right here, he loves doing the nerdy stuff in the game. You know, like if you look at all the fastest dungeon run teams, right? He's up there in every single one of them because he'll build the team just to be the fastest because that's what he enjoys. So when he tells you, "Oh, I enjoy manualing a dungeon for 20 seconds," because he actually enjoys that part of the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, don't tell me he didn't research Punisher's script. That's a lot.
No. I actually did. I did not research Punisher's script. I just actually went to auto because I know I need to farm artifacts. That's the most important thing. And I just realized, oh, it killed me. What the fuck did it do? Oh, it actually moves like 20 million.
A lot of the problem is that people just want to, and I'm guilty of it too. You know, I asked Thompson for the first 3 days, like, yo, what's up? What are we using? What are we using? You know, like I didn't want to do the work. You know what I mean? I still don't want to do the work. You know, but aside from that, like I'll bring up a perfect example, right? Like my wife, she plays Summoners War 2, right? For fun only. You know, free to play totally.
Yeah.
She's been playing for, I just checked, it's over 3 years now. So the other day, she finally gets a Shayna from the 4-star event, and then she goes, how do I rune it? I said, rune it violent anything, right?
Oh, no.
I take the phone back. She's played for 3 years, right? Because she refuses to read or learn anything about the game because she makes you rune all her monsters for her. This one, I didn't want to rune. I just wanted to see what the fuck she'd come up with, right?
Yeah.
She gives me the phone. I look at the phone. It's on violent will. Okay, fine. Will's not needed, but fine. It's on speed, resistance, defense. Right? So then she goes, how's it ruined? Good? And I was like, no. Right? And she's like, why not? And I said, because everything's wrong. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is like a typical Summoners War player is going to be lazy like that. Just wait for, a Thompson stream that shows off his team or, a Making a Bud stream that shows off how he does what he does or, whatever, stuff like that. The average person is going to be lazy when it comes to stuff like this, reading and understanding and knowing and researching the game. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. It's very common.
So my question is that if they're this lazy, like if you're playing the game and you're so frustrated and you don't want to figure it out, are you playing the right game? Are you playing the game? Like, I think I think everybody feels like with these new dungeons and the higher stages that, hey, I'm just going to use the same units and be able to do the dungeon, right? Isn't there supposed to be like, hey, let's figure out new units, new strats? Is that not fun to some people? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not fun to them then. So for those people that want to be lazy or have a difficult time, all I've been saying is just wait. Just fucking wait, right? Stop playing Summoners for a week or 2 weeks. Come back. I'll have all the answers, right? All the people on YouTube, all the people on Twitch, everybody will have the answers for you if you want the answers. But if you want it right away, it's going to take some time, right? We're going to have to figure everything out. But I just feel people are complaining too much about it. People are saying things are too difficult when I think
there's a lot of complaints. I hear it too. It's crazy, but
and the argument back is that we're endgame players. We don't see it from their perspective. We're endgame players. We have good runes, right? We're endgame players, and I don't think that's a valid argument. I really don't think that's a valid argument.
On stream, people see it all the time. It happens. You know what I mean? Like it's not easy. You know what I mean?
I actually think willing to take someone's team is a skill. Like it's really easy. It's really hard for someone to give advice, and that's a skill. But it's also really hard to take advice or take someone's team. That's a skill too. So I mean, I think the community has been doing that pretty well. Like accepting advice from streamers and also learning from streamers. And the streamers has also been doing a really good job, like sharing the ideas with their audience and stuff like that. So I think the Come To Us and the Summoners War community is growing in a really good direction in that sense. It's not easy. Like I'm just gonna copy someone's team. Like I remember back then, I don't want to listen to anybody. I just want to do my thing. But now, like people are starting to listen and accept and actually.
Right. A big part of a lot of people's complaints too is like, okay, you're an endgame player, I'm not, right? But then if you realize that I'm an endgame player and you're not, then you need to perform in your window. You understand? Like, like if you're a mid-game player, then do mid-game dungeons at mid-game speed, right? If you're not an end-game player, why are you trying to compete with my times, my speed, my teams, my units, my success rate, right? Yeah. You can't use you're an end-game player, I'm a beginner as an excuse. Just do what you do in your window. I didn't turn on the game and do fucking GB10. You know what I mean? I did the same 5-minute GB10 that you guys are doing in 1 minute now. It took me 5 minutes back. It took everybody else 5 minutes to start it. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. You never did GB10. You just bought Swift packs.
I did that too, but I still fought.
I have done that.
All right, make it about what do you have to say?
I think like people play the game for different reasons, right? Like some want to, like Ryujin tops the list for Necro and all that stuff, right? That's his thing, part of his thing, right? Some people like to do RTA. Some people just like to collect runes, and they get frustrated when they don't have the ability to do so right away. And also, like I think from at least from a mid game player standpoint, like you used to be farming GB10s like everyone else, but now you can't as well. So now you feel like you're falling behind, and no one likes the feeling of falling behind. So that's why there's the complaining, where every day that goes by, you're falling further and further behind because these top end players are able to do it and you can't. And that's probably what's going on today.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, name any game at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like any game you start playing, you're gonna fall behind. It don't matter what you play, and the top end players will be at the top. Even games that are not pay to win. I mean, you can play World of Warcraft, you can play CS:GO. Like CS:GO, that you could say is free to play, but the knowledge that the players have are so much more advanced than what you have. You know what I mean? So it's like everything is to a certain extent. You have to be able to. That's why for some of the content I made, some of the dungeons and videos I made, I did teams that were more free to play. I de-ruined my Lorne from being like 260 speed to 170 speed, right? For those videos. And I showed the stats, and I did no artifacts. I did no fight runes, right? I'm literally making teams that are like a lot more feasible to obtain and easier for the early game players. Your early game, your mid game, do you expect to do a 30-second run, right? Because if you're an early mid game player, right? Do you think this game would be alive if you, as an early game player, can do a 30-second run? That means that end game players are doing like 1 second run. I don't know. Like these end game players would be bored out of their minds, and they would like probably like fall out and quit. There would be absolutely no challenge at all, right? So I think it's fair in terms of every part of the game. But if there is things in the game that are not, achievable, then there are problems. And I think the only one that I totally agree with is what a lot of people are also saying in chat is the Steel Fortress, right? Being a little bit too difficult because of the buff beneficial. But like I said, the solution will be, more units that are more feasible for a dungeon like that.
A monster with skill 1 beneficial block.
I mean, to be fair, as hard as you want to say that is, or whatever unfair you say that is, they also gave you a free unit to deal with it, right? Like they gave you at least one, not counting whole heroes. They give you a free unit for sure. Everybody got one, Vampire Lord, right? To deal with it. Like, is it the most effective one for it? No. Is it guarantee you're going to win? No, but it's still a unit that you have that can deal with it, that you can't say, oh, I didn't spend money. I have one. I don't have one. Like, you didn't spend money, you still have one.
Yeah, it's just the ability to, use your brain, or if you don't want to use your brain, just wait, we'll figure it out for you, right? I think Sean B does a lot of like beginner guides as well. Like I think somebody said that Sean already did did a 10-day old account that's doing GB12. Like it's all possible, right? It's your knowledge.
Sarah, if you played during that release of the Vampire Lord, you'd have one, and if you didn't play till after that, they still give it to you for free with the ancient coins. You can still buy with ancient coins,
right?
That you get free from events. So it's still free. Just if you are that new, you shouldn't expect to be doing, 10 Steel Crypt Steel 10. Like you shouldn't be doing Steel 10 if you weren't here for the start for the release of Vampire Lord, you shouldn't be doing B10 Steel. That's it. End of story.
No, I mean, there's other units. There's Zinc. There's Gina. We just got an event. You can choose any 3-star.
That's the one free one guaranteed.
Okay. Fusion for Argon. So these are the ones we're working with. And like I said, block beneficial units are very sparse out there. So that needs to be changed for comp to us. I think that needs to be addressed.
Anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What do you think, Fall? You didn't get a chance yet. What are your thoughts?
I think this is like a question that could be applied. I mean, this is like something that's applied to life, to everything. Like there's always going to be people that's always going to feel like they're at a disadvantage, or that something's unfair, that their position is not as great as somebody else's. And it's applied here into this game, it's applied to real life, it's applied to social like interactions everywhere. So it's just like a matter of like understanding where you stand and kind of like working with the cards that you're dealt kind of thing, and using everything that you have to the best that you can. Like simple as that, right?
I mean, I challenge it that, you know, majority of players out there, if you feel your account can't do a certain dungeon, you're telling me if you gave that account to Jubago, you gave that account to Sean, that they wouldn't be able to figure it out? I think that's bullshit, dude. Right? People that say that I'm early game, I can't do Predators. If you give account to Sean or you give account to Bagel, you give account to Foie, you think that they can't do it? I mean, answer that question for me, right? That's bullshit. Like, absolutely not. There will be a way and they will find it. So if it's possible, right? And this is assuming no money being spent, right? I didn't say give the account to Y because you know what happened.
Don't go to Y nothing now. Y because spends and still can't figure nothing out.
Right, so that's experience. And so with that comes new content. Change is always very difficult, right? On a real note, change is always difficult. Comes the new content. And if you are the one struggling, come to our streams, right? Come to Fall streams. Check out the videos that we release. We're here to help you out. We're here to play the game together. We're here to, hate to say it again, have fun, right? And I'm honestly having the most fun I've ever had with this update. So we'll learn, we'll figure things out together. And that's where the fun is, right? Don't feel so frustrated, right? At the end of the day, it's a game, right? So if you're frustrated, take a break and come back to it later. There's other things in life to worry and be stressed about and to be upset about. So it's a game, man. Have fun, right? Have fun. Just, you know, take a step back, right? Take a step back. I understand. I feel the frustration sometimes, too. I know where you're coming from. So, but it's just something to kind of be known, and hopefully that helps people out if they hear that, you know, just appease them a little bit, right?
A lot of people are frustrated because also, like, I feel like Summoner's War is one of the hardest games to climb out of being mid game to end game. It's like so hard, you know.
I'm still mid game, dude. It's super hard.
All right, dude. All right, dude.
Oh, okay. All right, sure.
Yeah.
It is hard, though, and it is a big difference. And it takes a lot of time, too. And as the game goes on, it takes more and more time because the later you start, the further behind you are technically. You know what I mean? Like, if you start now, if you start next year, you're still another year further behind. So it's like, if you've been playing all along, you can't be that far behind. But if you just start playing recently, like, you're pretty far behind just in terms of time. Just in terms of time invested. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not about spending, just talking about the free stuff, right? Like, we've been summoning TOA scrolls for 5 years. You know, you've been summoning TOA scrolls for 5 months. You know what I mean? Maybe. You know, like, how could it be the same? Just that alone, you know? So it's a lot of things where you have to understand, and you have to find a spot where you're comfortable. Like I said, I always tell people, like, play in your window, you know? You don't have to clear, you know, GB12 in a minute or whatever, like everybody else is doing. You could do it in 2 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's your window. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the game in your window. Don't try and be like everybody else is. You're just going to set yourself up for disappointment. Like, for example, you don't think Ryujin likes to reach things on the third shelf of department stores? Right? But he can't get there, right? But you have to play in your window. You have to buy the second shelf.
At least I could get to the aisle, unlike you. You know, you have to squeeze right through.
Oh, I love you. All right, so I don't want to like that. He's my boy, guys.
Yeah. It's only because you guys know each other.
I want to get back on what Pat said, right? Like, but I think there's a difference though. The newer players who are coming into this game right now are actually getting fed a lot of free stuff. Like, how many people are getting like Nat 5s like before their max level? I never got a Nat 5 till like a year and a half.
Oh my god, all the lulls. Wait, what did I miss? What did you say?
Like how many years? Like, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. For me, it was a year and a half before I got a Nat 5, and I actually played the game. I did spend some money in the game in the very beginning. And it was like the very beginning of the game was very hard. Unlike now, if you're trying to do things, I think it's so much easier to like get stuff. All the shit.
Look at how far you've come. You have so many LD Nat 5s now.
Yeah. Why does everybody come into the game like saying, "Hey, I got to be number 1," right? Can't you come into the game being like, "Hey, how much resources do I get? Can I play on the daily? Can I have some fun? Do I get enough free summons? Like, can I play with my friends? You know, like it's a game, man. It's a game. It's not life or death, right? So it's just a game. Have fun with it. Take time, right? And for the more competitive players, right, we do the strategizing together. We'll learn more about the game. There's a lot of different aspects that Summoner's War can appease for a variety of players. And I've seen and I've met so many people in my course of years of playing Summoner's War and meeting people in the community here in Hawaii and here all over the world. I've seen so many different Summoner's War players, and people enjoy the game for many, many, many different reasons. So just go back and ask yourself, why are you playing Summoner's War? And you know, hey, if it turns out that, you know, you don't like it, then hey, play another game. There's tons of games you can play. Nobody's telling you to play Summoner's War, right? You play it because you like it. It's very simple.
Yeah, I mean, everyone plays for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
But genuinely, when you play a game, could be for fun, but could be because you want to be at the higher ranks. And there's so many players that play the game, you're gonna get a number that fall in each bucket. right? And then a subset of that number will complain, and some will not complain, and that's what you hear. So it's that way in life, right? Everyone wants a house, wants a new car, wants a Ferrari, wants all kinds of stuff, right? So we want everything. But...
Yeah, and we know in the real world we have people that complain about that, right? Woe is me. How come I don't have this dream job? How come I don't have this, amazing sports car? How come I, it's the people that just complain, and it's people that try to actively, achieve things, right? It's life. Right? But that's different. Life is, a little bit more real, right? That's the real world, right? This is just a game, so put it in perspective. Any last words that you guys had? I like this ending discussion, and it's something that we can talk about more in the future, because I think talking about things that people think about, we think about, that is usually not talked about, is always great topics. Always great topics to bring up, right? Just getting that reassurance and that we understand and we know as well what's going on is important.
No, not yet.
All right.
Both killed you.
Okay. All right. We're still waiting. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's
I'm still waiting.
Just when? Just when, dude? Yeah.
It's soon, I believe.
I mean, I heard if you put recovery artifacts, you can kind of like heal a little bit. Never mind.
Anyways,
garbage. But all right. Thank you guys for joining me on today's podcast. Did you have any last words? Just want to see if yeah, I thought you might have something. Go ahead.
Yeah, one last thing. Like, I'm always gonna keep pushing this idea, and like, I hope Compass does this one day. Competitive PvE, like, please, like, have. Yep. Yeah. Just like, I really hope that they come out with some kind of competitive PvE where it has like rankings and just it resets like every few months or month or 2 months or whatever, and something that's kind of like Delve or Path of Exile Delve mode. I don't know if anybody here has played Path of Exile, but it's just steal that idea and just implement it to some sort.
Yeah. They would need to address the hacking issue if they do that. Yeah, like right now, like there's still one hacker that's on the freaking fire guy that's never been removed.
He's pissed.
He's
pissed.
I've actually messaged Compass so many times, like, get rid of this guy.
He's standing between me and the #1 spot. Get him out of here.
Yeah. I wonder.
You're almost to get rank 1. It's just...
I wonder sometimes if Comptuous leaves the hackers or the accounts in there for a little while because they are trying to figure out what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that'd be pretty smart. It's like to let them keep doing what they're doing, to see how they're doing it so they can patch it, right? There's been less hackers, though, you have to say, in the last, couple of years. But I think there always will be. If somebody wants to hack something, they can do it, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's the same in every game. If a hacker wants to hack something, they will figure out a way and they'll do it. So more so with a mobile game, it's probably going to be way easier than any of those mainstream games. So it's inevitable. A fight that can never truly be won.
Hacking is like a $1 billion business. Like hacking programs, like just to hack games.
People they make tons of money, dude. They make tons of money. Yeah. All right, thank you guys for joining me on today's podcast. This was a sick one. This was nice. I thought it was gonna be a pretty standard one. I had our topics lined up and substats, but Making One came in and we had some spicy combos and some talks on food and just some random combos. This was fun. This is a whole lot of fun.
I have something to say before we go.
Sure.
I think earlier, Making Bud was pontificating about how he feels like some monsters should be nerfed, but then obviously, you could use your brain and there are counters for these monsters, and some monsters there are no counters for. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
Sure. I mean, if I ever pull this.
All right.
Life would be good.
Good podcast, you guys. Good podcast.
Oh, we know which units you're talking about. Toss it. I know which units you're talking about. But
it's okay. But people have their opinions, So I respect people's opinions. And
that's true. I mean, no cap. That's true. Everybody has a difference in opinion, and we respect it. Right? Some people can have the wrong opinion. I mean, anyways, thank you guys for joining me on the podcast today. We're gonna put the links to all of the Twitch streams down below. Make sure you guys check them out. Everybody here streams once in a while. Some people stream more. We got Ryujin, finally got a new mic, but still hasn't streamed yet, so still waiting on that. But until the next live streamer video, leave those comments down below. We've been reading them actively, and catch you on the next live streamer podcast. Peace out, YouTube.
You guys, bye.
See you guys later.